Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles. Chapter 1195. Qin Wentian soared through the air. This place was very far away from the central region of the Sacred Academy. Occasionally, he would be able to find secret realms for cultivation, but there weren't any sacred cultivation grounds like the central region of the Sacred Academy. Hence, there were very few people here. In addition, in the vast wilderness, even if there were people, they would be drowned by the sea of people. It was as difficult as ascending to the heavens if one wanted to search for them. However, Qin Wentian's expression was incomparably calm. Since he had returned, he naturally wanted to gather everyone together and not be split up and hunted by others. From Li Yufeng's words, he knew that after the defeat in the sky-piercing battle, all his friends must have been split up. Now that they were fleeing in different directions, and the other party had formed many teams to hunt them down, he naturally understood how terrible the situation was. Only by hiding would he be able to survive. Qin Wentian didn't want to waste even a single moment. He wanted to find his friends and family as soon as possible. Qin Wentian's speed was extremely fast, like a bolt of lightning. His immortal sense swept out in all directions, but he still couldn't find anyone. However, he knew that it wasn't time yet. Since they were fleeing, they would naturally flee to the depths of the mountain range. How could it be so easy to find them? Another long period of time passed. Qin Wentian was still venturing deeper, advancing unceasingly. Qin Wentian didn't know that at an extremely far distance away from him, there were experts from the Namhuang clan who encountered the White Tiger people and a few Zidi's followers in a forest. The cultivation bases of the three holy maidens weren't very high, and they encountered each other while fleeing. The strongest among them was only at the 7th level of Immortal Foundation, while the strongest among them was at the 8th level. Should we inform them? A white tiger asked his comrade. It shouldn't be a problem to capture these three holy maidens, right? But if we inform the other two, I can only eat the leftovers. Are you willing to do so? One of Zidi's followers coldly stared at the three holy maidens of the Namhuang clan. One couldn't help but say that the descendants of the Southern Phoenix matriarch were all extremely beautiful. In this place where no one resided, they should enjoy themselves first before killing them. Who would know that they had participated in this? In any case, they would definitely not admit it when they were in the outside world. Cultivation was very tiring, and they naturally didn't mind having a beauty to relieve their fatigue. Moreover, there were many geniuses from the various forces in the Immortal region who coveted the Namhuang clan's holy lady, yet they didn't dare to touch her. That's right. The two of them are cultivating, and we're out searching for them. We're not afraid of running into powerful enemies. Now that there's such a good thing, we naturally have to enjoy it ourselves. The White Tiger people's powerhouse grinned. The three saintesses' faces were as pale as paper. They glanced at each other, and their eyes were filled with determination. They had already decided that if they were captured, they would just have to undergo nirvana. Otherwise, if he were to fall into the other party's hands, he would only be humiliated to death. Boom! A terrifying aura gushed forth. Their bodies were bathed in phoenix flames as a pair of phoenix wings appeared. They released their immortal foundations as numerous phoenix spears shot out explosively, shooting towards their opponents. The four experts from the White Tiger people also moved. Malevolent smiles could be seen on their faces as they instantly surrounded the three holy maidens. The White Tiger people's followers directly rushed forward, engaging in close combat, wanting to cripple the immortal foundations of these holy maidens first. At the instant the battle erupted, the entire space trembled as rivers and ancient trees crumbled. The three holy maidens of the Namhuang clan fought against the four experts, and their cultivation bases were higher than theirs. They could still endure for a period of time, but the disparity in strength was too great. Very swiftly, they suffered heavy blows as blood flowed from the corners of their mouths. Even their immortal foundations were shaken as cracks could be seen on them. Their countenances were completely pale. Take off your clothes and don't resist. If you make us happy, we might spare your lives." The White Tiger people's follower laughed malevolently as a wild aura radiated from him. He was also worried that these three holy maidens would go all out and retaliate, wanting to break the will of their opponents, giving them a chance to live. The three holy maidens of the Nam Huang clan exchanged glances, all of them had a resolute look on their faces. Boom! All of a sudden, an 8th-level Immortal Foundation White Tiger demon directly appeared before one of the holy maidens. With a lift of his hand, he directly penetrated the Immortal Foundation of one of the holy maidens and lifted her up as a malevolent smile appeared on his face. The countenances of the other two holy maidens drastically changed. With a swishing sound, that was the sound of clothes being torn apart. However, just as they were fighting, the mountains and rivers trembled and the earth rumbled. The tremors grew increasingly intense, and just when the holy maiden of the Nam Huang clan had her immortal foundation penetrated and her robes ripped apart, the two holy maidens screamed in shock as the earth trembled. But at this moment, the three holy maidens of the Nam Huang clan were already surrounded by fear. It was as though they didn't notice the tremors. The captured holy maiden had tears flowing down her face. As a holy maiden of the Nam Huang clan, was she going to be humiliated by a vile white tiger demon? She inclined her head and stared at the vast sky. But at this moment, the tears on her face froze. Staring at the situation afar, her body started to tremble. We've already captured one of them. If the two of you dare to undergo nirvanic rebirth, the four of us will definitely make this beauty of the Nam Huang clan die a quick death. That White Tiger people expert threatened when he saw the actions of the other two holy maidens. The faces of the two holy maidens turned pale, the flames on their bodies trembled unstably. "Vile beasts, your doomsday has arrived." At this moment, the captured holy maiden of the Nam Huang clan spoke, her words causing the four of them to laugh coldly. Their doomsday? Did this woman go crazy even before she was humiliated? The other two holy maidens discovered something strange. The tremors grew more and more intense. After that, they stared at the sky as their gazes froze. "You guys are dead for sure." Another person spoke. The White Tiger people frowned, they could also feel the tremors. They inclined their heads and stared at the sky as their countenances abruptly turned incredibly unsightly. Far away in the air, there was actually a terrifying giant. It was unknown how tall this giant was, but from where they were, it seemed to be as tall as the sky itself. His gigantic eyes surveyed the surroundings as he took a step forward, causing the earth to tremble unceasingly. This giant was actually Qin Wentian. At this moment, Qin Wentian had transformed into a towering giant. The boundless land was simply too vast. Only by doing this could he allow people who were extremely far away to see him and sense his existence. His body was tens of thousands of zhang tall. Every step he took caused the heavens to collapse and the earth to shatter. Mountain ranges were directly crushed under his feet, and every step he took left behind a huge pit on the ground. Not only that, the steps he took grew bigger and faster, causing the earth to tremble violently. He believed that with such a gigantic body, even if he couldn't see those who were far away, others would still be able to see him or sense his existence. Everywhere Qin Wentian passed by, doomsday seemed to have arrived. One mountain range after another turned into ashes. Reality was just as Qin Wentian had predicted. After transforming into a giant, although he still couldn't see others, others could still see him. Just like the stars in the sky, because he was sufficiently gigantic, even if he was extremely far away, he could still see the radiance of the stars. At this moment, not only was Qin Wentian's body huge, but he was also emitting a powerful divine aura. When the people of the Nam Huang clan saw Qin Wentian, the experts of the White Tiger people also saw Qin Wentian. Their expressions changed in different ways. After that, they discovered a fact: Qin Wentian couldn't see them. Even for powerful immortals, their vision was not limitless. They could only see each other when Qin Wentian transformed into a giant. However, in Qin Wentian's vision, from far away, they were no different from a particle. How could he possibly see them? You all are hoping that he can save you. Can he see us? The experts of the White Tiger people laughed maliciously. The faces of the experts of the Nam Huang clan were ashen. At this moment, the flames on the body of a saintess burned even more fiercely, directly burning from inside out. A drop of bright red blood appeared. The expressions of the experts of the White Tiger people changed. Wait for me. Towering flames appeared. That saintess of the Nam Huang clan directly transformed into a beam of light and shot up into the sky. Very swiftly, the shadow of an incomparably huge phoenix appeared in the sky, blotting out the sun. Blazing flames burned the heavens, and even the sky seemed to be on fire. Upon seeing this scene, the countenances of the White Tiger people turned ashen. After that, they discovered that the gigantic body of the giant was stomping on the ground in their direction, causing the tremors of the ground to intensify. Finish her off. That terrifying silhouette gave the four of them immense pressure as it rushed towards the saintess who was still able to fight. Boom! Terrifying flames suddenly ignited on the body of the saintess, causing the four of them to pause. After that, her silhouette also shot up into the sky as she stared coldly at the four people below. All of you must die. Go. The four experts grabbed the saintess and fled. However, they discovered that the phoenix that was undergoing nirvanic rebirth was actually following them. The flames were inextinguishable, guiding the giant forward. Qin Wentian naturally discovered that the saintess of the southern phoenix had turned into phoenix flames. His expression was cold to the extreme. The saintess of the Nam Huang clan was forced to do this. Qin Wentian naturally understood what happened. His speed increased to the maximum as he channeled the energy of God's hand into his legs, allowing him to advance with the fastest speed possible. That incomparably gigantic body of his could traverse an unknown distance with a single step. The earth trembled violently, shaking the heavens and earth. Other than those people earlier, there were other experts from the Battle Saint tribe who discovered Qin Wentian's body. After that, their silhouettes flashed as they sped towards Qin Wentian. As for the phoenix flames in the air, they grew increasingly weaker. Qin Wentian knew that she wouldn't be able to hold on for much longer. The distance between them grew shorter and shorter. Qin Wentian could finally see the silhouette of the saintess. He roared, causing the heavens and earth to tremble as a fearsome might gushed forth from him. The countenances of the experts from the White Tiger people paled. The terrifying might directly exploded around them, bringing with it towering rage. We can't escape anymore. The few of them turned ashen as they halted their steps. They stared into the distance and as expected, there were two more experts rushing over. They were from their side. With such a lineup, they should be able to deal with Qin Wentian, right? They stared at the gigantic silhouette as they silently mused in their hearts. Chapter 1196. Boom, boom, boom. The giant stomped on the ground, causing the heavens and earth to rumble unceasingly. Qin Wentian's cold eyes stared at the speck-like silhouettes before him. Finally, he stopped. Before him, the holy maiden of the Nam Huang clan transformed into the shadow of the ancient phoenix. Qin Wentian could sense the rage in her heart. He stretched his hand out and spoke, I will make them feel so much pain that they would rather die than live. That holy maiden landed on Qin Wentian's outstretched palm, transforming into a drop of nirvanic blood. Another holy maiden also appeared, she had also undergone nirvanic rebirth. Qin Wentian stared at her before turning his gaze back to the maiden whose immortal foundation was crippled and who was captured by the White Tiger people. His heart was filled with an incomparably cold chill. The White Tiger people would definitely pay a terrible price for this. 2 nirvanic rebirth, 1 crippled. And this was merely a battlefield. He had no idea what his friends in the entire Sacred Academy had experienced. After storing the 2 droplets of nirvanic blood, his palms radiated a terrifying might as he grabbed downwards. In the center of his brows, a pair of demonic eyes appeared. That pair of eyes directly pierced into the eyes of the white tiger that captured the holy maiden. The will of truth contained within his eyes penetrated into the mind of the white tiger, and in that instant, the white tiger abruptly closed its eyes. It only felt a supreme demonic silhouette appearing in its mind. That demonic silhouette was lofty and lofty, like a demon god peering down at everything in the world. Boom, boom, boom. That terrifying will contained the towering anger of Qin Wentian. While the white tiger was still struggling, Qin Wentian's terrifying palm had already slammed down. The other 5 experts evaded, temporarily avoiding the attack. At this moment, how could they still care about the life and death of their companion? This terrifying palm was simply too large. If it directly slammed down, even the holy maiden would be killed. However, at this moment, a fearsome sword might manifested in the palm. The sword Qi was controlled with incomparable precision, and with a flick of his finger, a supreme sword might pierced into the body of the white tiger, causing it to scream unceasingly as it directly died, reverting back to its true form, a gigantic white tiger. The palm covered the ground, pulling the corpse of the white tiger and the holy maiden up into the air. Qin Wentian then pulled them up into the air. Staring at the holy maiden of the Namhuang clan, her eyes were filled with tears. Her immortal foundation was crippled, and her 2 sisters underwent nirvanic rebirth. How could she not feel pain in her heart? I once had a stroke of good fortune and obtained a technique to reconstruct my immortal foundation. Namhuang Yunshi has also cultivated this technique. After we return from the Sacred Academy, I will get Namhuang Yunshi to impart this technique to the Namhuang clan. Your immortal foundation will be even more perfect. Qin Wentian spoke to the holy maiden in his palm. The holy maiden of the Namhuang clan froze for a moment before nodding her head lightly. Qin Wentian placed her on his body, his cold eyes staring down at the white tiger below. How cold was his gaze! A few gigantic white tigers appeared. One of them had a terrifying physique, exuding a baleful aura that towered up into the heavens, manifesting a supreme white tiger demon shadow. The ability to transform one's body was something only immortal kings could do. But immortal foundation experts who cultivated secret arts could similarly expand their physique to an incomparably large size, increasing their strength. Qin Wentian's strength originated from the Drift's Now Master. Even that gigantic white tiger, in front of Qin Wentian, didn't seem large at all. Naturally, true strength wasn't determined by the size of one's body. The larger one's body, the more obvious the target would be, and the easier it would be for one to be hit. There were advantages, but there were also disadvantages. I won't kill you all directly. I will capture you alive and roast you as meat. Qin Wentian's heart was filled with boundless rage. The White Tiger people not only wanted to kill the people of the Namhuang clan, they even wanted to humiliate them before killing them. In that case, he would use the same method to deal with the people of the White Tiger people. The White Tiger race would definitely pay a price. Shameless boasting. A cold voice rang out. A 9th-level Immortal Foundation expert from ZD's followers appeared. Violet Chi towered up into the sky as a terrifying violet giant appeared, exuding a towering might. He was at the 9th level of Immortal Foundation. Back then, Zi Daoyang had yet to become an immortal. When the two of them used ZD's ultimate art, the ultimate Violet Saint Immortal art, the difference in power wasn't just a level. Master has long wanted your life, but because of his status, he disdained to bully you. Today, I shall kill you. That expert coldly spoke. Qin Wentian stared at him. He released his Immortal Foundation as boundless demonic energy gushed forth. 8 gigantic demon shadows floated around him. At this moment, Qin Wentian truly transformed into a demon god, controlling the saint beasts and demon kings. Are you even worthy? Qin Wentian's palms blasted out. The 8 greater demons roared as Qin Wentian's palm imprints blasted out, transforming unceasingly. After that, a terrifying black hole of the demon god appeared, akin to a boundless black hole of primordial chaos, wanting to devour the entire sky. Upon feeling that heaven-shaking might, the expressions of Zidi's followers drastically changed. What ultimate art was this? How could it be so terrifying? That black hole of primordial chaos contained a heaven-shaking might. Die! With a thunderous roar, a terrifying violet fist imbued with boundless heavenly energy blasted out, slamming into the black hole of the demon god. However, the roar of a demon god rang out from within the black hole, directly devouring his attack. The powerful white tiger also frenziedly attacked, unleashing the ultimate art of the white tiger people. However, their fates were the same. Before that terrifying ultimate art, everything was devoured. The countenances of the two of them were filled with shock. The black hole truly wanted to devour the entire sky, blotting out the sun. Break! The body of the disciple of the Violet Emperor expanded explosively once more. His heaven-shaking might penetrated through the heavens and earth, gushing forth in all directions, blasting into the black hole of the demonic divinity. However, a heaven-shaking roar rang out from within, shattering everything. After that, the black hole engulfed his incomparably gigantic body. No! The powerful elite bellowed. How could this strike be so powerful? It was impossible. Boom! Loud booms resounded incessantly. Darkness descended as the demon god flashed past. The extremely powerful elite vanished just like that. The remnant force even struck White Tiger, causing him to spit out blood. His massive body seemed like it was on the verge of shattering as he let out a heaven-shaking tiger roar. Qin Wentian stomped on the heavens and earth, causing the mountains to crumble and the earth to crack. Another strike blasted out, landing on the body of the white tiger. The terrifying suppressive might instantly blasted into the white tiger's body, shattering his internal organs and causing fresh blood to spurt out. Qin Wentian's palm imprint smashed out, directly grabbing the gigantic body of the white tiger in his palm. His eyes were ice-cold as he stared down at the white tiger, as though he was the king of all existences. There were still 3 more experts below. Their bodies were trembling as terror was written all over their faces. Was Qin Wentian already so powerful to such an extent? Most probably, other than Huang Shatian, no one else would be able to suppress him. All of you, repent. Qin Wentian's palm slammed down. The 3 experts frantically fled. Their hearts were filled with a bone-chilling coldness, filled with despair. It wasn't easy for them to cultivate until now. They all had extraordinary statuses. But now, were they going to die? A few thunderous booms rang out. That disciple of the Violet Emperor was directly slapped into a cripple, his immortal foundation shattered and his internal organs ruptured. His entire person was in an incomparably miserable state. However, Qin Wentian didn't take his life. He wanted to make this disciple regret his actions. As for the 2 white tigers, Qin Wentian only crippled them but didn't take their lives. He planned to hand them over to the Namhuang clan to be dealt with. The 3 holy maidens were in such a miserable state. The entire Namhuang clan had probably suffered heavy losses in the sacred academy. How could the white tiger people not bear their anger? Rumble. The earth trembled. Qin Wentian was still moving forward but his speed had slowed down. He wanted to let everyone in this boundlessly vast region see him. He wanted his friends to come here and if his enemies wanted to come, he would crush them with ease. 2 experts from the Battle Saint tribe appeared first. They found Qin Wentian and called out, "Saint Lord." Qin Wentian nodded to them and continued forward. Staring at that heaven-shaking body, they couldn't help but to sigh in their hearts. The Saint Lord was as expected of the Saint Lord, tyrannical and unrivaled. Back then when he joined the Battle Saint tribe, he was the weakest. But now, he has already surpassed them. Qin Wentian who was continuing forward saw the familiar silhouette of Jun Mengchen. They flew over and called out, "Senior brother." Are you alright? Qin Wentian saw that Jun Mengchen's robes were tattered. The handsome Jun Mengchen was now in a sorry state. Don't worry. Since senior brother has returned, we have to kill our way back. Jun Mengchen spoke with incomparable rage. Qin Wentian nodded, let us continue to search for the others. As he spoke, he continued forward. Everywhere he passed by, his enemies would retreat while his friends would come forward. His forces gradually grew stronger and stronger. Finally, several powerful holy maidens of the Namhuang clan appeared. They stared at Qin Wentian as traces of sorrow could be seen on their faces. Qin Wentian passed the 2 drops of nirvanic blood shadow to the holy maidens as well as the holy maiden standing on top of him. The holy maidens received them one by one as tears filled their eyes. The holy maidens of the Namhuang clan had never been in such a miserable state before. The White Tiger people had to pay a price. There are 4 greater demons of the White Tigers here. Qin Wentian dragged the corpses of the White Tigers behind him. They were all still alive as he spoke, I have been waiting for you all to come. I will roast the White Tiger meat and use fresh blood to wash away my hatred. Let's continue forward first and meet up with the other sisters before we eat the White Tiger meat. The Southern Phoenix Holy Maiden coldly spoke. Right. Qin Wentian nodded and continued forward. Everyone followed behind him as the number of experts gathered here increased unceasingly. Many days later, there were already over 10 experts gathered here. They returned to the central region of the Sacred Academy and left the 4 White Tiger people there. The bodies of the Namhuang clan's experts were bathed in flames. In an instant, the 4 gigantic white tigers howled miserably within the flames. You all will pay the price. The roars of the white tigers shook the heavens and earth. The Sacred Academy was alarmed as many experts rushed over. When they saw this scene, all of them felt their hearts trembling. Before this, you all started the war and acted against us. Have you ever thought of the price you would pay? The voice of the holy maidens of the Namhuang clan was incomparably cold. More and more holy maidens waved their phoenix flames, gradually roasting the white tigers. Chapter 1197. What happened? From afar, more and more experts rushed over from the Sacred Academy. This place was scorched by the flames as screams of agony could be heard. White Tiger Greater Demon. When they saw the scene before them, their countenances drastically changed as their hearts pounded. This was madness. In the past, they had heard of people roasting white tiger meat before. But this was the first time they saw someone roasting a greater demon in front of the Sacred Academy. Madness, everyone has gone mad. Staring at the cold expression on the holy maiden of the Namhuang clan, the gazes of the crowd gradually landed on Qin Wentian. This man had completed the 81 steps of the Shizhong wall, announcing his return. Now, he had truly returned, and in an incomparably domineering manner. Not only that, he brought his friends back, and even crippled the experts of the White Tiger people, capturing them alive. The White Tiger people are a peak power in the western regions. Their saint beast is a white tiger, a terrifying greater demon. Are they really so arrogant to this extent? Someone spoke when he saw the madness on Qin Wentian's face. Do you see that holy maiden of the Namhuang clan? There's no aura coming from her at all. Clearly, she has been crippled. Also, the eyes of those holy maidens of the Namhuang clan are filled with rage and sorrow. Don't forget what the White Tiger Greater Demon has always wanted to do. I believe that many of the holy maidens of the Namhuang clan have already fallen into his hands. Since this battle has already erupted, it's already too crazy. The White Tiger people might be a peak power, but what about the Namhuang clan of the southern regions? Someone replied, causing that person to be speechless. That's right, the people of the White Tiger people said that they would capture the holy maidens of the Namhuang clan and humiliate them before killing them. For such hatred, only roasted white tiger meat would be able to appease the anger of the Namhuang clan. The flames grew more and more terrifying. The experts of the White Tiger people roared and cursed. Qin Wentian's expression was emotionless. From the words of the battle Saint Tribe and Jun Mengchen, Qin Wentian knew of the course of this battle. The White Tiger people contacted all the peak powers and wanted to capture the holy maidens alive before humiliating them. Right now, Qin Er's whereabouts were still unknown. How could Qin Wentian not be enraged? Even if he killed all of them, his friends who had fallen would never be able to return. As for how powerful the White Tiger people were, Qin Wentian didn't even bother to think about it. There was basically no need for him to think about it. If others wanted to kill you, humiliate your friends, and kill everyone around you, what meaning was there for him to even consider what power the other party was? From afar, there were also people from the White Tiger People's Alliance. But when they saw how domineering Qin Wentian was, the people from the White Tiger People's Alliance from the Sacred Academy actually didn't dare to show themselves. Right now, Qin Wentian's group had already gathered together. If they appeared, it would only mean death for them. Eat the meat. Qin Wentian calmly spoke. Under the scorching phoenix flames, the white tigers were roasted. Qin Wentian brandished his sword and sliced the white tigers apart. Everyone then walked over and started feasting on the white tiger meat. Every single piece of the Saint Beast white tigers was extremely nutritious. After entering their mouths, their immortal energy surged and their blood started circulating involuntarily. There were no heavenly ingredients or earthly treasures that could be more nutritious than the meat of Saint Beasts. Saint Beasts were born from the essence of heaven and earth. At this instant, even those beautiful holy maidens of the Namhuang clan all disregarded their image and started eating. But even so, the anger in their hearts couldn't be quelled. It was unknown how many of their sisters who entered the Sacred Academy had already died in the hands of the White Tiger people. This place was merely one of the many sacred academies. How nutritious! Jun Mengchen spoke in a loud voice. How satisfying! Those vile beasts think they are so lofty and lofty. Now that they see their tribesmen being roasted, they don't even dare to come out. How ridiculous! The 4 white tigers, including a 9th-level greater demon, had incomparably large bodies. Although Qin Wentian and the others had huge appetites, it was still sufficient for them to eat their fill. Their immortal foundations involuntarily circulated, feeling incomparably joyful. The eyes of many experts flashed with greed, as though they also wanted to go out and have a share of the meat. They had never had the chance to enjoy such a nutritious food before. Humans and demons were different. Unless it was their own demonic beast companion or demon pet, it was extremely normal for humans to eat demons. It was just like how demonic beasts ate humans. If the White Tiger people weren't from a peak power, everyone would capture the white tigers and eat their meat. If anyone else wishes to eat, you can come out as well. Qin Wentian's gaze was extremely sharp, able to see through everything. He could sense the greed in the eyes of many experts. However, everyone understood that as long as they went out and ate a piece of white tiger meat, they would definitely be hated to death by the White Tiger people. This meat is incomparably delicious and can strengthen one's immortal energy. In fact, it can even allow one's immortal foundation to grow and have a chance to break through. Are you all not tempted? Qin Wentian spoke. Many people were tempted, silently cursing Qin Wentian for trying to tempt them. All of you are geniuses at the peak of the immortal realms. The white tiger meat has already been roasted, do you all not dare to enjoy it? A voice drifted over. The gazes of everyone turned over only to see a group of experts walking over. Li Yufeng, Baiming Nongyue. Everyone stared at the 2 immortal lovers before them, as though they had never been separated before. Li Yufeng walked up and smiled at Qin Wentian. Let me make things clear first. This white tiger meat was roasted by you guys, it has nothing to do with me. I only want to eat the meat and won't participate in the battle between you guys. Please. Qin Wentian didn't say anything more and stretched out his hand to invite them to eat. He naturally had no objections, but in truth, there were some things that could only be understood. There was no need for words. Li Yufeng said that he wouldn't participate in the battle, but there was no doubt that the people of the White Tiger people would hate him. Since he dared to eat the meat, he naturally had considered it. Li Yufeng and Baiming Nongyue also weren't polite, directly sitting opposite to Qin Wentian. His immortal energy transformed into a sharp weapon, slicing the white tiger meat apart. As the white tiger meat entered his mouth, Li Yufeng smiled. It's truly very nutritious, much more nutritious compared to the heavenly ingredients and earthly treasures I've eaten before. As expected of a saint beast. In that case, eat more. Qin Wentian laughed. Li Yufeng nodded, enjoying the delicacy. After that, he spoke, you brought so many people to kill your way back here. Are you not afraid of Huang Shatian? Qin Wentian's eyes flashed with coldness when he heard this name. According to Jun Mengchen, it was precisely because of the appearance of Huang Shatian that the tides of the battle turned, causing his friends to be hunted down and suffer heavy casualties. A peak-level genius could decide the outcome of the entire battle. Which sacred academy is Huang Shatian in? Qin Wentian asked. If Huang Shatian participated in the pursuit, it would be a nightmare for his friends. Don't worry, after that battle, Huang Shatian is being held back by others and has no way to extricate himself. Li Yufeng seemed to understand what Qin Wentian was worried about. He then continued, are you acquainted with experts from the Myriad Devil Islands? Myriad Devil Islands? Qin Wentian's eyes flashed. He shook his head, I've never had any dealings with them before. Then this is interesting. Do you know that after that battle, there was an expert from the White Tiger people who wanted to act against your wife? A maiden with a very high status in the Myriad Devil Islands acted to save her. Also, after that, 4 powerful devil cultivators from the Myriad Devil Islands fought against Huang Shatian, sticking close to him, causing Huang Shatian to not even be able to cultivate in peace. If she isn't acquainted with you, who else could she be acquainted with? Li Yufeng spoke. Qin Wentian heaved a sigh of relief in his heart when he heard Qingqing's news. However, there was still some doubt in his heart. Why would the people from the Myriad Devil Islands do this? From what he knew, there was only one person from the Myriad Devil Islands, and that person was also his enemy. Mo Xie. According to the words of the Holy Maiden from the Namhuang clan, there was a high possibility that Mo Xie was the mastermind behind the battle between the White Tiger people and the Namhuang clan. He heard that it was also a maiden from the Myriad Devil Islands who acted to save Little Rascal. Who was it exactly that was helping them? You seem to be very confident in your own strength. If not, you wouldn't be roasting white tiger meat here, waiting for your enemies to gather. Also, this is a situation where you didn't know that Huang Shatian wouldn't be able to participate in the battle. Can this be understood as you have enough confidence that you would be able to fight against the powerful Huang Shatian? Li Yufeng's eyes gleamed with a dazzling light as he stared at Qin Wentian. The first time he truly paid attention to Qin Wentian was when he was replaced by Qin Wentian on the Supreme Might rankings. After that, he discovered that Qin Wentian was truly extraordinary and the things he did could shake the heavens and earth. He had always wanted to fight against Qin Wentian. Naturally, he also wanted to see what sort of character Qin Wentian was, to actually dare to roast white tiger meat in public. The spectators were all shocked and they heard Li Yufeng's words. Only now did they realize the deeper meaning behind Qin Wentian roasting white tiger meat in public. From a certain perspective, Qin Wentian was declaring war. As to why they didn't think this way, it was because they had never imagined that Qin Wentian would be able to fight against Huang Shatian. Even if he was very strong, even if Qin Wentian returned with a shocking feat, the impression that Huang Shatian gave everyone was that he was simply invincible. If Qin Wentian's cultivation base could rise by 2 more levels, he might even have the qualifications to fight against Huang Shatian. Qin Wentian smiled, he didn't say anything. But at this moment, his eyes abruptly turned as his silhouette flickered, flying towards a certain direction. When his footsteps halted, a beautiful silhouette appeared in front of him. Mo Qingqing was as beautiful as ever, but her aura was even more extraordinary. After becoming an immortal, her aura changed. Mo Qingqing was still as beautiful as ever, but her aura was even more extraordinary, like a true celestial maiden. A smile appeared on Qin Wenqian's face. Being able to see that Qingqing was fine was naturally an extremely good thing. Mo Qingqing walked up and gently tugged on Qin Wenqian's robes. After which, she rested her head on Qin Wenqian's chest, wanting to quietly feel that familiar aura. They had already been separated for 40 years. "Wenqian, I missed you." Mo Qingqing's gentle voice caused Qin Wenqian's heart to melt. He hugged her as he spoke in a low voice, "I missed you too." He inclined his head and stared at the distance, only to see a group of silhouettes turning and departing. The woman in the lead had an extremely good figure, it was just that her body exuded a devilish coldness and her countenance was concealed. Qin Wenqian stared at the departing silhouette as he furrowed his brows. "Qingqing, do you know who she is?" "I don't know. She was only protecting me and didn't even say a single word to me. I've never even heard her voice before." Mo Qingqing walked out from Qin Wenqian's embrace as she turned and stared at the departing silhouette. "No matter who she is, I owe her a debt." Qin Wenqian spoke in a low voice. After that, he pulled Mo Qingqing back. Upon seeing this pair of lovers, everyone turned their gazes to Li Yufeng and Baiming Nongyue as they couldn't help but to feel shock in their hearts. Li Yufeng and Baiming Nongyue were a celestial couple, but right now, even their radiance was being suppressed by Qin Wenqian. This was truly a miraculous scene in the Sacred Academy. The group of people didn't say anything and continued to feast on the white tiger meat, waiting for the impending battle. Regardless of Qin Wenqian or the experts of the Namhuang clan, they were all clearly preparing for a battle. However, even before the experts of the white tiger people arrived, an incomparably lofty figure appeared in the air. His cold eyes stared at Qin Wenqian. "I once told you that I don't wish to see you devouring demons. Seems like you didn't even place my words in your heart." Qin Wenqian inclined his head. This person was none other than a 9th-level Immortal Foundation expert from the Tianping people, Jia Gu. He had once mocked Qin Wenqian when he ascended to the 3,000 immortal thrones and was unhappy with Qin Wenqian roasting white tiger meat because he was also a greater demon, a sky rock. Scram! Qin Wenqian didn't even bother to lift his head as he spat out a single word. Chapter 1198. A single word stirred up a storm. Qin Wenqian merely inclined his head and glanced at Jia Gu before no longer looking at him. He spat out the word, "Scram." Such an attitude was simply the strongest reply to Jia Gu. This was originally a grudge between Qin Wenqian and the White Tiger people. What qualifications did he, Jia Gu, have to interfere? Jia Gu's Immortal Foundation was high up in the air, staring at Qin Wenqian and the others with a judgmental gaze. This was already extremely disrespectful. Qin Wenqian telling him to scram was undoubtedly smacking his face. Who does Jia Gu think he is? What qualifications does he have to interfere in his matters? The people of the Namhuang clan coldly stared at Jia Gu. When the holy maiden of the Namhuang clan was humiliated by the White Tiger people, did Jia Gu interfere? When the Namhuang clan was forced to undergo nirvanic rebirth, did Jia Gu say anything? How laughable. Your enemies are everywhere in the Sacred Academy, yet your mouth is still so dirty. In the past, you were protected by the rules of the Sacred Academy. But now, do you think I don't dare to kill you? Jia Gu's voice was incomparably cold. His lofty eyes gleamed with a golden sharpness, extremely terrifying. He was a 9th-level Immortal Foundation Sky Rock. The Tianping people were even more terrifying compared to the White Tiger people. Why would he care about a 6th-level Immortal Foundation cultivator like Wuxia? Only now did Qin Wenqian slowly incline his head, staring at Jia Gu in the air. His eyes were extremely cold as he spoke. If you want to kill me, it means that you want to participate in the battle between us and the White Tiger people. You only need to say that you want to participate. Maybe, we would all be lucky today. White tiger meat and sky rock meat together, I'm sure it would be a different flavor. Boom! A golden light flashed in the sky. Jia Gu's body radiated a golden light that was akin to sharp blades slicing through space, exuding a terrifying pressure. Qin Wentian didn't move. He calmly looked at Jia Gu and said, "There's no need to rush to vent your anger. At the very least, you have to tell me if you want to participate in this life and death battle. Otherwise, who knows if I'll kill you or not." Jia Gu swept his gaze over the people around Qin Wentian. He only had a few greater demons with him, how could he fight against so many people? If it was a life and death battle, these people would definitely gang up on him. You are not qualified to fight to the death with me. I just want you to understand that you need to be qualified to be arrogant. A terrifyingly sharp light cascaded down on Qin Wentian. Let me see how strong you are exactly. As soon as he finished speaking, he slashed out with the sharp rock sword. The light was dazzling and indestructible. Behind Qin Wentian, an expert from the Battle Saint tribe blasted out. Fist light filled the sky as a thunderous boom echoed out. Qin Wentian calmly stared at the air as he spoke, "Be careful not to kill or cripple them." As the sound of his voice faded, the experts from the Battle Saint tribe behind him all stepped out. Several higher-level experts from the Namhuang clan also soared up into the air. Their countenances were ice-cold, their anger had yet to dissipate. The people in the surroundings hurriedly retreated. A thunderous battle instantly erupted in the air as the heavens and earth trembled. However, Qin Wentian, Mo Qingcheng and the others still calmly sat there, enjoying their roasted meat. They had no intentions of participating in the battle at all. "Despicable fellow, you are a coward and don't dare to fight. Is this your capital?" Jia Gu's roar of rage rang out. "Seems like you feel that I should jump 3 levels to fight you just because I'm proud. Since this is the case, I have no objections. But you should at least let me see where your capital is. A 9th-level Immortal Foundation expert can't even face a group attack. What qualifications do you have to ask me to fight you alone? Great Demon Sky Rock, do you still want face?" Qin Wentian mocked. "Everyone is like this, they have 2 requirements for themselves and others." Li Yufeng laughed. Very swiftly, the screams of misery from several experts from the Tianping people rang out in the air. Jia Gu suffered the frenzied attacks of the experts from the Battle Saint tribe and the Namhuang clan. How could they let him go so easily? A storm of attacks rained down on him, shattering his incomparably tough bones. It was unknown how many of them were broken as he roared in rage. As a 9th-level greater demon from the Tianping people, he was actually ganged up on and beaten so miserably. This was simply a great humiliation. "Qin Wentian, you will regret this," he roared in a low voice. As the sound of his voice faded, another thunderous boom rang out. The gigantic fists of the experts from the Battle Saint tribe slammed into his back, almost shattering his wings. He coughed out a few mouthfuls of blood, appearing extremely miserable. Such a scene caused the hearts of everyone to tremble. Right now, Qin Wentian and the experts from the Namhuang clan were like gods of death. If anyone dared to antagonize them, it would be equivalent to becoming their enemy. Not long after, the incomparably gigantic great rock Jia Gu was slammed into the ground, on the verge of death. That incomparably dazzling body of his was riddled with wounds as fresh blood flowed unceasingly. Such a miserable state caused the hair of everyone to stand on end. If Jia Gu had said earlier that he wanted to participate in a life-and-death battle, most probably, Qin Wentian would have ordered him to be roasted. "Are you really not afraid of offending people like this?" Li Yufeng asked. "I didn't offend anyone, it's people who want to offend me." Qin Wentian calmly spoke. He wouldn't create trouble, but since Jia Gu took the initiative to come here, could it be that he had to lower his head? There are countless geniuses in the immortal realms who died because of personal feelings. Endure it for now and take a step back. That way, there will be fewer grudges. Li Yufeng spoke again. Qin Wentian stared at Li Yufeng's handsome face. He knew that Li Yufeng wanted to understand him, hence, he used words to probe him. This Li Yufeng seemed to be very curious about him. Staring at Li Yufeng's eyes, Qin Wentian slowly spoke, "What's the point of stellar martial cultivators? On the path of cultivation, if you don't advance, you will fall behind. Only by advancing unceasingly would you be able to soar above the heavens and earth. If you restrict your heart, how would you be able to soar above the heavens? I cultivate the martial path, seeking to be able to do things to my heart's content, seeking to be free and unrestrained, living a carefree life. I won't bully others, but others cannot bully me. If someone dares to bully me, I can only suppress them." Everyone felt their hearts trembling when they heard Qin Wentian's words. That's right, the vast majority of people were mortals. They pursued the path of cultivation because they wanted to be able to do things to their heart's content, not being restricted by others, not being suppressed. Naturally, because the path of cultivation bestowed great power to people, allowing them to roam the heavens and earth unhindered, there were some people who gradually grew arrogant, thinking that they were the only one in the world. When they did things, they only cared about their own benefits, not caring about the life and death of others. An example was Huang Yudi. He was incomparably arrogant. Just because his elder brother praised Qing'er, he claimed that Qing'er was his elder brother's woman. What if I can't suppress them? Li Yufeng laughed. Everyone in the world was like Qin Wentian, suppressing those who offend him. However, there were countless experts in the immortal realms, there would always be existences stronger than you. How could he suppress them? For example, the battle of grudges, the powers behind those geniuses would cause one's hair to stand on end just thinking about it. Qin Wentian understood what Li Yufeng was referring to. He replied, "If there are people who want to kill you and you can't suppress them, you can't possibly just wait for death, right? Your only path is naturally to flee. When you can suppress them, you will return. If you can't surpass them forever, just accept your fate then." A very simple logic. Li Yufeng laughed. In other words, you are now able to suppress the White Tiger People's Alliance. That's why you came back. Qin Wentian didn't deny it. Everyone returned from the battle and continued to enjoy the white tiger meat. Their immortal energy grew stronger as their immortal foundations glowed with resplendent light as their bloodline power surged. Such a transformation caused the people in the surroundings to have the same thoughts as Li Yufeng. Why do I feel that you look so familiar? Qin Wentian's gaze suddenly landed on Baiming Nongyue who was beside Li Yufeng. There was no doubt that Baiming Nongyue was extremely beautiful. That kind of demeanor, even if she didn't say anything, was extraordinary. Her beauty was different from Mo Qingqing's. Maybe you have met my elder sister before. Baiming Nongyue smiled. She is much more famous than me and is also the #1 beauty of our Hokage Sengoku kingdom. If you have met her before, you would naturally not be able to forget her. Your elder sister. A look of contemplation appeared on Qin Wentian's face. Staring at that beautiful countenance, he suddenly thought of a certain person. He smiled, the matters of the world were truly wondrous. Baiming Nongyue was actually the younger sister of that woman. They're here. At this moment, Li Yufeng spoke. The people around Qin Wentian all turned their gazes over. They could all sense a terrifying pressure rushing over. Seems like they had gathered very quickly and were rushing over here to kill their way over. Numerous figures stood up, preparing for battle. Let's finish eating first. The white tiger meat is extremely nutritious, don't waste it. Let's fight after we're full. Maybe we can continue roasting more after we're done. Qin Wentian sat there calmly, his words causing the hearts of the experts from the Battle Saint tribe to feel more at ease. Seems like Qin Wentian was extremely confident. They had personally witnessed Qin Wentian transforming into a towering giant. To him now, if Huang Shatian didn't act, most probably no one would be able to do anything to him. They continued to feast on the white tiger meat and their movements grew even faster. The gigantic white tiger meat was almost completely devoured by them. The immortal energy in their bodies surged wildly, as though it was about to gush out. All of them had recovered to their peak state. The pressure bore down, those who had nothing to do with it retreated. Li Yufeng stood up and smiled, "Thank you for your hospitality." After speaking, he brought Baiming Nongyue away, not at all polite. Over 10 experts arrived. When the people from the White Tiger people saw Qin Wentian and the others roasting the white tiger meat, their countenances turned extremely ugly to behold. Their baleful eyes seemed to be able to kill as they stared at Li Yufeng. "You participated as well. He treated us to meat and I couldn't resist the temptation. However, your grudges have nothing to do with me." Li Yufeng shrugged. "I won't participate. Do you think I won't participate just because you say so?" An 8th-level Immortal Foundation expert from the White Tiger people spoke. His eyes were incomparably cold as a tyrannical aura engulfed this entire space. Li Yufeng frowned. "If eating the white tiger meat would cause jealousy and hatred, I'll welcome you anytime." After speaking, Li Yufeng directly departed, as calm as ever. Other experts from the White Tiger people wouldn't come looking for him. He also didn't eat the meat of their tribesmen and there was no grudge between them. If the White Tiger people want to come, he would accompany them. Qin Wentian. Numerous cold gazes landed on Qin Wentian. Only to see Qin Wentian staring at Imo Qingqing beside him as he smiled, "Qingqing, since you've eaten your fill, it's time for you to fight. Later on, you can just sit on my shoulder." Imo Qingqing nodded lightly. After that, Qin Wentian stood up. Rumbling sounds rang out as he transformed into a giant over 100 meters tall and placed Imo Qingqing on his shoulder. His entire body circulated with a supreme immortal light that enveloped him, including Imo Qingqing. Upon seeing this scene, everyone couldn't help but to shiver in their hearts. This fellow was so confident to the extent that he placed his wife on his shoulder. Did he think that no one would be able to break through his defense? Before this, I've said it before. If someone wants our lives, what should we do? Qin Wentian asked. Suppress them. An expert from the Battle Saint tribe spoke. In that case, suppress them all. As the sound of Qin Wentian's voice faded, he stepped out, causing the ground to tremble as a terrifying fissure appeared. Both parties rushed towards each other, there was no need for unnecessary words, there was only killing intent. Chapter 1199. Rumble, the earth trembled. Qin Wentian's steps caused cracks to appear on the ground. His 100-meter-tall body radiated a divine glow as he blasted out a palm imprint. This palm imprint was accompanied by the ancient suppression word imprints, blotting out the sun. Qin Wentian's body was over 100 meters tall and he stared down at everyone with disdain. When he attacked, the power radiating from him was like a supreme divine might descending from the heavens. His body is gigantic, attack him and take his life. That 8th-level Immortal Foundation expert from the White Tiger King race roared. His baleful aura towered up into the sky. He transformed into a gigantic white tiger that was as imposing as a mountain and was about the same size as Qin Wentian. The White Tiger King race was even more powerful and terrifying. Upon hearing his voice, many experts simultaneously unleashed terrifying attacks, blocking the ancient suppression word imprints descending from the heavens. At the same time, they attacked Qin Wentian as boundless attacks gushed out. Such a gigantic target could be hit even with one's eyes closed. Qin Wentian could only endure it head-on. But at this moment, many experts floated before Qin Wentian. Divine apes appeared behind the experts of the Battle Saint tribe, howling in rage. The bones in their bodies radiated a dazzling light as they blasted out with their palms, akin to the arms of divine apes, fighting against the heavens and earth. The holy maidens of the Nam Huang clan were bathed in flames that could incinerate the heavens and earth. The shadow of the phoenix roared, and there were also several GD's followers that were proficient in spatial energy. They were able to negate the attacks of their opponents and could even create spatial barriers. In an instant, the entire battle revolved around Qin Wentian. The White Tiger royalty expert seemed to be the leader, but in truth, there were a few other powerful characters beside the White Tiger King. However, they were all extremely cautious and weren't as direct and ruthless as the demons. Since Qin Wentian dared to kill his way here, they wanted to see how strong Qin Wentian's combat prowess was. He was able to gather so many experts to roast White Tiger meat and wait for them here. If they didn't personally witness Qin Wentian's combat prowess, they wouldn't be at ease. Hence, they decided to let the White Tiger King fight against Qin Wentian first. Qin Wentian roasted the White Tiger. The White Tiger people must be furious. Two huge silhouettes, Qin Wentian and the White Tiger of the royal family, were facing each other. Although the surrounding cultivators were fighting and the world was shaking, only Qin Wentian and the White Tiger were the most obvious targets. Many aftershocks of the attacks landed on Qin Wentian's body. Some of the attacks even broke through the layers of defense and hit him, but they couldn't break through Qin Wentian's frightening true godlike body. Qin Wentian continued walking forwards. Mo Qinqing stood on his shoulder, her long hair fluttering in the wind. She was incomparably quiet, as though she had absolute confidence in Qin Wentian. She understood Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian would take risks for himself, but he wouldn't be willing to see her suffer even the slightest grievance. Since Qin Wentian dared to place her on his shoulder, this indicated that her man had absolute confidence in himself. At this moment, the White Tiger of the royal family blasted out an evil god's fist. This incomparably gigantic fist light seemed to contain countless white tigers galloping and howling in the air. Qin Wentian lifted his palms and countered with a palm strike. As this palm strike blasted out, the roars of dragons shook the skies, causing the entire space to tremble violently. The body of the White Tiger of the royal family shone with a king light. In the center of its brows, a gigantic ancient king character appeared as a surge of kingly baleful qi gushed forth, enveloping its entire body. When it attacked again, the heavens and earth trembled. This White Tiger of the royal family unleashed a demonic art that contained boundless might. The roars of 10,000 tigers shook the heavens and earth as the baleful qi shook the heavens and earth. Qin Wentian felt the terrifying energy gushing towards him, causing his body to tremble uncontrollably. Boundless runic light circulated around him, and above his immortal foundation, thousands of ancient characters could be seen floating in the air. Each of the characters radiated a divine glow, causing the roars of the 10,000 tigers to be suppressed as the baleful aura was destroyed. Qin Wentian cultivated in the sky connecting immortal rock for several years. During these years, he didn't intentionally raise his cultivation base and spent all his time and effort on cultivating his innate techniques. In addition to the sky connecting mirror on the second level, any innate techniques could be manifested to perfection. Qin Wentian continued to comprehend, and although it was impossible for him to cultivate the innate techniques to the extreme, he still managed to accomplish a leap in his cultivation. He managed to fuse all the powerful innate techniques he cultivated into one, creating many unique attacks. Hence, the current Qin Wentian was born. Qin Wentian exuded a solemn aura as his true divinity body flowed with boundless resplendent light. The grand palm of truth was akin to the palm of a great Buddha, manifested from the god's hand. There were many ancient characters engraved on it as it bore down on the White Tiger King. At this moment, not only the White Tiger King, the experts below all inclined their heads and stared at the sky. That gigantic palm descended from the heavens, bringing with it boundless ancient characters as it slammed down towards the White Tiger King. Even some of the more powerful 9th-level Immortal Foundation experts felt their hearts trembling when they felt the terrifying pressure. It was simply too powerful. This attack of Qin Wentian could be said to be world-shaking. The tens of thousands of roaring tigers around the white tiger's body were crushed. The white tiger roared again and again, the light of the Tao of Kings bloomed crazily. The white tiger's huge body felt a faint sense of fear. The huge palm arrived in an instant, destroying everything. The attacks of the white tiger were all crushed and destroyed. Although the power of the palm was destroyed, it still fiercely pressed on the white tiger's huge body. With a rumbling sound, the white tiger king was forced to the ground. How would Qin Wentian give his opponent a chance to catch a breather? He directly unleashed another sword strike, one immortal slaying sword, accompanied by boundless ancient characters that slammed into the white tiger king. The white tiger king howled miserably, inclining his head and howling. A look of reluctance could be seen in his eyes, but when he saw the coldness in Qin Wentian's eyes, a sense of sorrow appeared in his heart. His white tiger race was tyrannical and domineering, ruling over the western regions of the immortal realms. They controlled many demonic beasts in the human territories, and there were countless beauties who came to them to entertain them. There were even humans who were willing to become their servants, begging for their favors. The white tiger king race was lofty, unexcelled in the world. Their arrogance towered up into the sky. When they entered the Tiandao Sacred Academy where geniuses were as common as clouds, they thought that the white tiger people would be able to display their brilliance. But now, the white tiger people were suppressed everywhere and suffered many defeats. In fact, they were even roasted alive as food for humans. This was a great humiliation. Now, he himself was about to be destroyed, becoming food for humans. When he thought of this, he felt even more sorrow before his death. If the white tiger people were low profile and not as tyrannical as they were in the outside world, maybe they wouldn't have to face such a calamity. Tears actually flowed down from his large eyes. However, when he stared at Qin Wentian in the air, his eyes were filled with boundless venom. With a thunderous boom, the white tiger king was killed, shocking the entire battlefield. How can he be so powerful? Many people felt shock in their hearts as they stared at Qin Wentian. Their expressions were incredibly unsightly to behold. This was far stronger compared to when Qin Wentian fought against Leba back then. That innate technique he used could simply crush the entire sky, containing boundless might. It was simply too terrifying. However, they basically didn't have time to think too much about it. Qin Wentian turned his gaze to the experts below. When he saw a location where the Battle Saint tribe was at a disadvantage, he spoke, "Retreat, let me handle this." As the sound of his voice faded, he directly blasted out a palm imprint. That expert from the Battle Saint tribe who received his voice transmission immediately retreated. Qin Wentian's violent attack slammed down, directly shattering the immortal foundation of that expert from the Tenlon Heaven Kingdom as he slammed into the ground. Who can block him? Someone roared. They gathered their strength and came here with the advantage. In fact, other than Qin Wentian, they already had the advantage, injuring a few experts. But if no one could block Qin Wentian, the situation would be the same as back then when Huang Shatian joined the battle. The situation would be reversed in an instant, turning the heavens and earth upside down. No one stepped forward. Even for those at the 9th level of Immortal Foundation, their hearts were filled with trepidation after the White Tiger King was killed in a single strike. No one stepped forward to fight against Qin Wentian. This caused Qin Wentian to be able to attack freely. Those who were fighting against Qin Wentian would be instantly killed by Qin Wentian's tyrannical attacks. In just a short period of time, 3 experts had already fallen. Bzz. Someone retreated from the battlefield. Go. Someone roared in a low voice, retreating as he fought. The battle has just begun and the other party was already preparing to retreat. This caused the spectators who thought there would be a heaven-shaking battle to have strange looks on their faces. As expected, cultivation was like this. It was never about the number of people who could decide a battle. Rather, it was about the person at the peak. In this place, Qin Wentian was at the peak and could be said to be invincible. No one dared to go up against him, causing the situation to instantly crumble. The experts from the Battle Saint tribe and the Namhuang clan alliance saw that their opponents were retreating. How could they let them off? They frenziedly chased after them, trapping their opponents. Concentrate your strength to kill a portion of them. The White Tiger people will be the main force. Qin Wentian's voice thundered through the air, causing the White Tiger people to howl in rage. Everyone followed Qin Wentian's instructions and started to surround the fleeing greater demons of the White Tiger people. They knew that it was impossible for them to kill all of them. Qin Wentian himself continued moving forward, causing the ground to rumble. An expert with a lower cultivation base stretched out his palm as a gigantic palm imprint slammed down from the sky, directly slapping that person to death. How would he be able to survive a single strike? Terrifying. Everyone stared at Qin Wentian. He was like a heavenly divinity, simply an invincible existence. Who would have thought that Li Yufeng was right? Qin Wentian dared to lead so many experts here. As expected, he must be extremely confident. Maybe, this isn't his strongest state. If he unleashed his full strength, maybe only characters on the same level as Huang Shatian would be able to kill him. Sadly, Huang Shatian is currently being restrained. The experts silently mused. At this moment, there were several greater white tigers trapped, and there were also experts who instantly fled far away. But as for those White Tiger people who were trapped, they would most probably become food for Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian instantly chased after them. But not long after, everyone saw him returning. Evidently, he wasn't willing to waste time on a pointless pursuit. He wanted to kill those who were trapped first. Those trapped experts all turned ashen. After chasing the Namhuang clan alliance for so long, terror finally appeared in the depths of their hearts. This was the terror of facing death. Chapter 1200. Qin Wentian's gigantic body stepped back, causing the ground to rumble. His cold eyes swept over to those trapped beasts as his countenance turned ice-cold. Several experts of the White Tiger people had already gone crazy. Trapped beasts would still struggle, let alone white tigers. However, was there any use? Qin Wentian's palm blasted out towards one of the battlefields. That violent white tiger's eyes flashed with despair when it saw the palm imprint that blotted out the sun descending upon it. The palm imprint slammed down, causing a thunderous boom to ring out. That white tiger was injured from the impact. An expert of the Namhuang clan stepped forward and stabbed out with his finger. A moment later, phoenix flames erupted from the white tiger's body. The white tiger's gigantic body was instantly engulfed by inextinguishable flames as it screamed in agony. It stared at the battlefield around it, seeing how its tribesmen were slaughtered, becoming food for humans. At this moment, the experts of the White Tiger people, other than hatred, all of them felt deep regret. Why did they have to make such a great enemy? Why did they have to covet the holy maiden of the Namhuang clan? If not, they wouldn't have ended up in such a miserable state. Those who entered the Tiandao Sacred Academy were all elites. If those elders and tribesmen who were waiting outside knew of what happened here, how sad would they feel? Under the rules of the Tiandao Sacred Academy, immortal senses didn't exist. These geniuses originally had the immortal senses of their elders in their bodies, but they had long been erased by the formless heavenly Tao. No matter what they experienced inside, no one in the outside world would know of it. In other words, the elders of the White Tiger people were waiting outside, but they had no idea that their tribesmen were being slaughtered. The battle gradually calmed down. All the experts who were trapped were killed without exception. The bodies of the white tigers that had transformed into their true forms had already ignited with terrifying flames. Once again, they began to roast the white tigers. Not long after, Qin Wentian and the others acted as if nothing had happened. They continued to feast on the white tiger's meat. The fragrance of the white tiger wafted through the air, making people salivate. It was unknown how many experts wanted to taste the white tiger's meat. "We are too late, we are too late." A voice drifted over. The crowd only saw a beam of golden light flashing past with lightning speed. After that, the monk Bujie appeared before Qin Wentian and the others. His eyes were wide open as an expression of pain and agony could be seen on his face. Saliva flowed down from his mouth as he unceremoniously tore off a piece of white tiger meat and tossed it into his mouth. "Monk, I didn't ask you to eat, right?" Qin Wentian said when he saw Bujie appear. "Brothers share weal and woe together. A mere white tiger meat is nothing. It's just a small matter." Bujie straightforwardly spoke, as though he viewed the white tiger meat as dung. However, the way he wolfed down the white tiger meat was as though he hated that he didn't eat enough, allowing Qin Wentian and the others to finish it all. This wasn't food, this was food snatching. Qin Wentian glanced at Bujie with disdain. The white tiger meat was the purest form of nourishment in the world. Immortal herbs and immortal pills couldn't compare to it. If it was in the particle world of the past, it would be a divine item that could revive the dead and regenerate flesh and bones. Experts who ate it would be able to strengthen their physiques and improve their talent. "Junior brother, you are." At this moment, a voice drifted over. Buyu pressed his palms together, staring at Bujie's action speechlessly. "Senior brother, I promised you that I wouldn't bathe every day. But I can't abstain from eating meat." Bujie, if I abstain from eating meat, what joy would there be in being a monk?" How would Bujie know how to reflect? He spoke frankly with assurance. He even stared at Buchan. "Senior brother Buchan, am I right?" "Junior brother, your words are wrong. As monks, our purpose is to cultivate and nurture our character. When has it ever been for pleasure?" Buchan solemnly spoke. He was immaculately dressed and had a handsome countenance. He didn't look like a monk at all. "Senior brother is right. But this meat. How could Bujie bear to part with it?" Buchan walked up and stared at the white tiger meat. After that, his gaze landed on Bujie as he asked, "What's the most important thing in the immortal realms?" "Naturally, it's cultivation. We, the disciples of Wenshin Temple, cultivate for the sake of our ideals. Cultivation is for the sake of strengthening our bodies. Although eating meat is against the precepts, we can still sacrifice ourselves for the sake of our ideals. As the saying goes, if I don't enter hell, who would?" "So." Bujie blinked. "Stupid, so naturally, this white tiger meat can be eaten." After saying this, Buchan sat down. He picked up the meat in a graceful manner. His actions were so elegant that it was enough to mesmerize many girls. "Senior brother is brilliant." Bujie was filled with respect. As expected from senior brother, his words made sense. Even when he ate meat, he was so particular about it. His actions were also beautiful, he was just too brilliant, Amitabha. Buyu could only shut his mouth and close his eyes. The people around looked at the two monks and were totally defeated. They were filled with respect for the monks of Wenshin Temple. High monks. They were just too high. If I don't enter hell, who would? Qin Wentian stared at the two monks in front of him as his eyes flickered unceasingly. Their words were so logical that he actually had nothing to say. He stared at Bujie wolfing down the meat. Although Buchan's actions were elegant, he ate extremely quickly as well. Qin Wentian's heart was dripping blood. The people from the Namhuang clan and Battle Saint tribe also blinked. In the next instant, everyone started to increase their speed, frenziedly snatching the white tiger meat. This scene completely toppled the worldview of the geniuses in the surroundings. This scene of them eating meat was even more fascinating compared to the previous battles. It was simply too fascinating. Several gigantic white tigers were actually devoured cleanly in a very short period of time. Burp. Monk Wuxia burped. He licked his lips and spoke with a hint of longing in his voice, "When will there be more to eat? Remember to wait for me next time." Qin Wentian was completely defeated by the shamelessness of this monk. After that, he replied, "No problem. You can come with us to the other sacred academies. If there's a huge battle, just leave the roasted white tiger meat to us." Monk Wuxia himself was already at the 6th level of Immortal Foundation. Although he was shameless, his combat prowess shouldn't be underestimated. In addition to the fact that his 2 senior apprentice brothers were extremely powerful, they would be a great help to him. Since the other party was being impolite, he naturally wouldn't be polite as well. "You are not kind enough. You guys have a death grudge with the White Tiger people. If we participate, wouldn't we be hated to death?" Wuxia spoke. "Didn't you say that we would share weal and woe together? In addition, you ate the white tiger meat, shouldn't you return the favor?" Qin Wentian asked. Brothers naturally have to be loyal to each other. However, life and death are more important than anything else. "You want me to risk my life? Do you have the heart to do that?" Wuxia thickened his skin as he spoke. "Yes, I do." Qin Wentian nodded. "Since you want me to risk my life, it means that you don't have me in your heart. Since that's the case, there's no reason for me to risk my life for you. Senior brother, don't you agree?" Wuxia shamelessly stared at Buchan. Junior brother's words make sense. Buchan nodded. Qin Wentian at this moment really wanted to slap these 2 shameless monks to death. "However, since we ate Brother Qin's white tiger meat, we won't participate in the battle. It's still possible for us to go and cheer for you. If we meet powerful characters, we can seek guidance from them and spar with them. Monks are benevolent, there's no need to fight to the death." Buchan spoke with a straight face. "Senior brother is wise." Wuxia kowtowed once more, filled with admiration. He, Wuxia, only admired these 2 senior brothers. Qin Wentian laughed. Although monks were shameless, they could still be considered kind. How refreshing. If you roast sky rock meat in the future, remember to call me. Wuxia turned his gaze to Jia Gu and the other great rocks, drooling with desire. Although Jia Gu was heavily injured, his sense of hearing was still intact. When he heard Wuxia's words, he almost coughed out blood. What was going on in this world? They were a major power of the western regions, Saint Beast-ranked greater demons, born to be kings. Right now, the white tiger people were reduced to food on their plates. These people were eating the white tiger meat and were actually fantasizing about eating sky rock meat. Were the people of the Sacred Academy all crazy? Thinking back to his earlier arrogance, it wasn't that Qin Wentian couldn't fight against him, but rather, Qin Wentian couldn't be bothered to do so. Qin Wentian's group of people directly ganged up on him, disdaining to waste time on him. His pride had suffered a heavy blow. Boom! At this moment, a terrifying aura gushed forth from one of them. Her immortal foundation started to circulate frenziedly, causing everyone to turn their gazes over. This was a holy maiden of the Namhuang clan, with a cultivation base at the 6th level. At this moment, her immortal foundation energy was rising rapidly as boundless flames enveloped her body, causing the people in the surroundings to be shocked. She was about to breaking through just by eating meat. This is truly a joyous matter in the mortal world. Wuxia was incomparably envious. Many of the experts here could feel the changes in their bodies after eating the white tiger meat. However, breaking through wasn't something that could be done just by eating meat. It was only because this holy maiden of the Namhuang clan already had a certain level of comprehension and the white tiger meat just happened to provide an opportunity for her to break through. Because the white tiger meat contained the essence energy of heaven and earth, her breakthrough this time around was extremely smooth. The vast amount of immortal energy she needed was actually replenished by the white tiger meat. This holy maiden of the Namhuang clan actually managed to break through a level in just a few hours. It could be said to be a miracle. Saint Beast White Tiger, it gathers the essence of heaven and earth. It's even more useful than immortal pills and supreme immortal treasures. Someone sighed, feeling some regret that he didn't go up to share a portion of the soup with Qin Wentian earlier. Let's move out, we will head to the next sacred academy. Qin Wentian spoke. There were still many people who hadn't gathered together, including Qin. How could he feel at ease? Right. Everyone's expressions turned solemn. The relaxed atmosphere they felt after a great victory vanished. They had no idea how their friends from the other 3 sacred academies were doing. Were they still alive? Qin Wentian stood up. The group of them then departed in a grandiose manner, heading towards the direction of the sky-connecting realm. After passing through the sky-connecting realm, they headed towards the sacred academy where Qin Wentian cultivated. He was relatively more familiar with this place and hoped that he would be able to find them. This group of people moved in an imposing manner, attracting the gazes of all the experts present. Staring at this group of experts as well as Qin Wentian in the lead, many people's eyes gleamed with sharpness. It was Qin Wentian and the people from the Namhuang clan. They had killed their way back. Qingqing. Qin Wentian hugged Qingqing and smiled at her. After that, a thunderous rumbling sound echoed out as his body expanded frenziedly, blotting out the sun. Countless people in the center of the sacred academy inclined their heads and stared at the gigantic figure as their hearts pounded. On the shoulder of that gigantic figure, there was even a supreme beauty. This scene was extremely shocking. Let's go. Qin Wentian's voice was like heavenly thunder. He stepped out, causing the entire sacred academy to tremble. Chapter 1201. In the past, this sacred academy was a place where many greater demons gathered. But after the 4 sacred academies were connected, many humans like Wuxia also came here to cultivate. They roamed around the 4 sacred academies and there were also many cultivation grounds in this sacred academy that could raise one's strength. When they saw Qin Wentian's silhouette, all the experts here felt shock in their hearts. This fellow has returned, but would he be able to shake Huang Wudi and the other experts in this sacred academy? They all knew that Huang Wudi and Huang Yudi were both in this sacred academy. In addition, Huang Wudi and Huang Yudi came later. As for the reason, they also knew. Because, Qin Wentian's woman, the daughter of Chongqing the Great, the disciple of G.D., was currently on the run in this sacred academy. Qin Wentian's woman was undoubtedly one of the people they wanted to capture the most. This was especially so for Huang Yudi who hated Qin Wentian to the bone, as well as Bai Mao of the White Tiger people. Hence, both of them came to this sacred academy to search for traces of Qing'er. Qin Wentian has arrived, I wonder what happened to Qing'er. If she was captured by Huang Yudi, given Huang Yudi and Bai Mao's personalities, I really don't dare to believe that they would do something to Qing'er to anger Qin Wentian, forcing Qin Wentian to die. Everyone mused silently. Seems like there would definitely be a huge clash in this sacred academy. Qing'er was indeed in this sacred academy. Back then, she encountered her senior sister and the experts from the Battle Saint tribe but they chased after her. Her senior sister and the experts from the Battle Saint tribe fought to the death, blocking their path and allowing her to escape first. This battle allowed the experts from the Battle Saint tribe to know of her existence and their pursuit intensified. During these few days, she had been constantly on the run. In the depths of the sacred academy, Qing'er was traversing through the forest. At this moment, she suddenly felt a faint spatial fluctuation. After that, her silhouette flickered and appeared on a stone. Stretching her hand out, Qing'er placed her palm on the stone. A moment later, a mark appeared on the stone as a look of joy appeared in her eyes. It's the mark left behind by senior sister. Qing'er thought in her heart while a strand of spirit appeared in her beautiful eyes. Even though she was still beautiful, she seemed to be slightly exhausted now. Presumably, she had suffered a great deal during these past few days. However, when she saw the unique mark left behind by her senior sister, her complexion became much better. Her silhouette flickered as Qing'er searched for the mark. This mark was unique to the disciples of GD and only they could undo it. There was no need to worry about others. And indeed, after several hours, she saw a beautiful maiden standing there on a mountain peak. This maiden was tall and had an elegant demeanor, exuding a sense of magnificence. She had an extraordinary background and was also a disciple of GD. It was just that she had encountered an unprecedented ordeal in the sacred academy. Senior Sister Nye. Qing'er's silhouette flickered as she appeared before the maiden. This maiden was named Nye Yunchang and had outstanding talent. She had an extraordinary status and had always taken good care of Qing'er in the sect. The other apprentice sisters loved to talk about the two of them together. Junior sister, did something happen to you? Nye Yunchang asked. No. Qing'er shook her head. When facing her fellow apprentice sisters, she didn't reveal a cold demeanor. Instead, she seemed very close to them. That's good. Nye Yunchang nodded. After which, she gazed into the distance. I wonder how the other apprentice sisters are doing. They should be fine. Qing'er mumbled as she gazed into the distance. Although she said this, she was extremely worried in her heart. Was the senior sister who had protected her in the past doing well? If something happened to her senior sister, she wouldn't be able to rest easy. A mocking smile appeared on Nye Yunchang's face, but Qing'er didn't notice it. She turned her head and spoke to Nye Yunchang, senior sister, this place is too conspicuous. Let's go somewhere else. Okay, Qing'er, you lead the way. Nye Yunchang smiled and nodded. Qing'er nodded lightly. After which, her aura gushed forth as she stepped forward. Nye Yunchang followed closely behind, spatial fluctuations emanating from her. Not only that, the spatial fluctuations were extremely powerful. Qing'er was somewhat bewildered. She turned her head and called out, "Senior sister," but before the sound of her voice faded, she saw an extremely unfamiliar face. There was no smile on that face, nor was there the warmth of the past. There was only boundless coldness and anger, as though she had seen the person who had killed her father. When she saw this pair of eyes, Qing'er froze. Her heart pounded violently. She simply couldn't believe her eyes. How could she describe those eyes? They were filled with so much hatred. Was this really the senior sister she respected and respected? Chi. The incomparably violent spatial energy in Nye Yunchang's hand directly slammed into Qing'er's body, rushing into Qing'er's body without any reservations. Earlier, Qing'er had been suspicious of that tyrannical spatial energy, but it had actually been used to attack her. This scene was too sudden, and Qing'er was caught unprepared. She had no time to react. How could she have defended against Nye Yunchang? Even under normal circumstances, she wouldn't have imagined that her senior sister would be so ruthless towards her. She wouldn't even dare to dream of such a thing, let alone when she was fleeing for her life. She had been so happy to see Nye Yunchang. Even at this moment, her face was filled with endless bewilderment. She didn't understand, she truly didn't understand. She knew that her senior sister usually had a grudge against her, but she had always thought that it was just a small grudge between them. As long as she treated her senior sister sincerely, she would be able to erase that grudge. She had never placed it in her heart before. Senior sister, why? Qing'er called out. Even now, she was still calling her senior sister. She didn't understand. Why? Nye Yunchang's face was filled with hatred. She suddenly started laughing uproariously, her voice shaking the air. The smile on her face was replaced by boundless coldness, her beautiful countenance was now filled with boundless hatred and coldness. I was born in an immortal emperor aristocrat clan, and my ancestor is an immortal emperor. Although he isn't as dazzling as your father, the Chongqing the Great, being the ruler of an immortal empire, he is still an immortal emperor expert. My status is high, and I have outstanding talent. Ever since I was young, I've always been a heaven's chosen, displaying dazzling magnificence. My growth was a legend in the history of my clan, and after I entered the tutelage of my master, my status in the clan grew even higher. I'm a proud princess, and even the ancestor personally guided me. Nya Yunchang icily spoke. Everyone who entered the Tiandao Sacred Academy had their own legends. They were all geniuses that exuded magnificence throughout the generations, dragons and phoenixes among men. Nya Yunchang was no exception. I didn't disappoint my clan. Even under the tutelage of my master, I still displayed my dazzling brilliance. My fellow apprentices all liked me, praising me, and the amount of time my master spent with me exceeded that of my fellow apprentices. All of these proved that I was born extraordinary, and my life would surely be incomparably glorious. Nya Yunchang continued. Qing'er quietly watched on. Even though the energy in her body was ravaging her, causing her to lose all resistance, she still wanted to know why all of this was happening. Was it jealousy? Everything changed after you appeared. You are known as an innate immortal king, and on your path of cultivation, you should be able to step into the immortal king realm at the very least. This is the end point of many, but it is your starting point. You are proficient in spatial energy and have outstanding talent. Not only that, you have an even more illustrious background. You are the princess of the Evergreen Immortal Empire, the most doted-on daughter of the Evergreen Immortal Emperor. Countless geniuses want to marry you, and after you entered the sect, the senior apprentice sisters took even more care of you. Master also favored you greatly, even exceeding the expectations he had for me. Nya Yunchang continued. Qing'er knew all of this. Her heart was extremely sharp, and she could tell that Nya Yunchang was a little unhappy about this. However, their relationship was still very good, and Nya Yunchang also took great care of her. She believed that both of them were very willing to resolve the grudge between them. Also, based on her understanding of Nya Yunchang, even if she was jealous, she wouldn't do such a thing. Naturally, I can understand all of this. Given how vast the immortal realms are, there will always be people more dazzling than you. Also, among my fellow apprentices, there are some who are even more talented than me. Didn't they also take great care of me? Your existence wouldn't affect my legend, I would still have a bright future ahead of me. However, all of this was destroyed by you in the Sacred Academy, destroyed by you. Nya Yunchang roared, her eyes were as cold as ice, wanting to slice Qing'er into 1,000 pieces. Because of Huang Shaishan's words, many people had ill intentions towards you. Our fellow apprentices all wanted to protect you, but this was all because of our love for you. Why did you bring them into this war? They had no connection with the Namhuang clan, and they didn't even know your lover, Qin Wentian. They all had their own lives, yet because of you, many of them died. Qing'er stared at Nya Yunchang, feeling pain in her heart. How could she not be sad? Back then when Huang Shatian and the others descended, they, the Namhuang clan, Qin Wentian, the 9 Emperors' immortal state, and the White Tiger people had already started a war. That war was the fuse, and everyone knew that the cause of that war was because of her. The people of the 9 Emperors' immortal state had humiliated her. The people of the Namhuang clan, the people of the immortal Qianbian Gate, and even the people of the Wenxin Temple, none of them knew her. But they all stood by Qin Wentian's side, participating in this war without any hesitation. Qing'er thought that they were already friends. Laughable, how laughable. You are actually fine. How can you be fine? Nya Yunchang laughed uproariously. Do you know that I was captured by them and stripped of my pride in front of everyone? Do you know what kind of humiliation I had to endure? My life was ruined just like that. Because of you, it was completely ruined. Qing'er felt even more pain in her heart. She stared at Nya Yunchang, hating herself. An expression of guilt could be seen on her face as tears appeared in her eyes. Senior sister, I'm sorry, sorry. Nya Yunchang laughed, her laughter exceptionally cold. Is there any use in apologizing? Can apologizing be able to redeem my life? Even if I had to endure the most painful humiliation in my life, I still wanted to live on. At that moment, I hated all of them. I wanted nothing more than to hack them into 1,000 pieces. But I also hated you. Hence, I promised them that I would personally hand you over to them. Hence, they spared me. Chapter 1202. Within the sacred academy, Huang Wudi, Huang Yudi, and the others were together. Bai Mao and many other experts were beside them, searching for traces of Qing'er. Can Nya Yunchang locate the daughter of the evergreen immortal emperor? Bai Mao asked. Since they are from the same sect and she said that she has a way to contact them, there's naturally no problem. We just have to wait for news, Huang Yudi coldly replied. The daughter of the evergreen immortal emperor isn't Nya Yunchang. In this war, both sides suffered casualties. Even if we did something to Nya Yunchang, GD wouldn't dare to fall out with us. But if we act against the daughter of the evergreen immortal emperor, the Chongqing the Great would definitely pay any price to fall out with us. Similarly, GD might be shaken, Huang Wudi spoke. We just won't kill her. In addition, they already ate the meat of the White Tiger people and are no longer afraid of starting a war in the immortal realms. Could it be that Brother Bai Mao still has misgivings? If there's no other way, we can just hand the daughter of the evergreen immortal emperor to you. At that time, both sides can come to a compromise. It's just that Princess Qing'er will be married off to the 9 emperors' immortal state and become your woman. I believe this isn't too bad. If brother doesn't like it, you can just give her to me, Huang Yudi coldly spoke. Huang Wudi frowned. He knew that this younger brother of his had been humiliated by Qin Wentian multiple times. Right now, he no longer cared about the consequences and would definitely punish the daughter of the evergreen immortal emperor. Because of his hatred for Qin Wentian had already become the devil in Huang Yudi's heart. Although the elders of the younger generations wouldn't interfere in the battles between the younger generations, for example, in this war, the Namhuang clan roasted a white tiger and the White Tiger people also forced the Namhuang clan to kill the Holy Maiden. Would the elders of the Namhuang clan dare to slaughter the descendants of the White Tiger people? In that case, the peak experts of the White Tiger people would similarly slaughter the descendants of the Namhuang clan. The most likely outcome was that both sides would come to a compromise, or an immortal war would break out. Once an immortal war broke out, it wouldn't be as simple as the deaths of a few juniors. Hence, everyone had their own considerations. However, there were some people who weren't easy to touch. For example, people like Qing'er, Huang Shatian and Huang Yudi. Most probably, Qin Wentian wouldn't dare to kill them either. When Qing'er heard Nya Yunchang's cold words, she felt an intense pain in her heart. The pain she felt was far more intense than her own injuries. She hadn't expected that the world would have such a deep hatred for her. Senior sister, I'm sorry. Qing'er continued to speak in a low voice, I know I've dragged you into this, elder sister. But I didn't mean it. I didn't think it would turn out like this. But elder sister, you can't do this. No matter how you treat me, I won't blame you. But if you do this, how will you face the other elder sisters? How will you face Master? You won't be able to come back. Go back. Can I still go back? Nya Yunchang mocked herself. She stared at Qing'er, her countenance incomparably cold. Do you hate me now? Why are you in such a pitiful state? You should hate me. Why must you be so hypocritical? Do you think your hypocrisy can make me change my mind? My dear junior sister, if it wasn't for the fact that they wanted you intact, that attack wouldn't have just heavily injured you. It would have crippled your immortal foundation. That's not it. Qing'er shook her head. She stared at Nya Yunchang's countenance, but it was as though she didn't recognize her at all. Was this really her senior sister? Alright, My dear junior sister, it's time for me to send you off. I hope they will also bestow the pain I've suffered to you, Nia Yunchang spoke in a cold voice. She had a smile on her face, but it was a twisted one. Why did things turn out like this? Qing'e mumbled in a low voice, her heart aching to the extreme. Nia Yunchang's words were like blades, slicing into her heart. She was born with a dislike for the grudges of the mortal world. She loved the atmosphere in her sect, and it shouldn't be so cruel. That violent spatial energy ravaged her body like a spatial storm. However, Qin Wentian didn't seem to notice it at all. She inclined her head and stared at the sky as she closed her eyes. All of a sudden, a sealed energy in her body seemed to have been awakened. Immortal light radiated from her as a terrifying spatial storm manifested in an instant. Emichem. Nia Yunchang furrowed her brows. She could faintly sense that a shocking spatial energy was awakening within Qing'er's body. It was terrifying to the extreme, and it was actually starting to devour the spatial energy she controlled. Nia Yunchang's immortal might erupted forth as her attack grew even stronger. However, Qing'er acted as though she didn't see it. She continued to stare at the sky, completely ignoring the terrifying spatial energy that was devouring Nia Yunchang's spatial energy bit by bit, sealing it within. The light radiating from her body grew more and more terrifying. Her robe shone with boundless spatial light, and her long hair became as sharp as blades. At this moment, the spatial energy around her seemed to be on the verge of freezing. This entire space abruptly lit up with a supreme immortal light that shot up into the clouds, illuminating the entire space. How is this possible? An expression of shock appeared on Nia Yunchang's face. Her cultivation base was higher than Qing'er's, and she had even managed to land a sneak attack on Qing'er. She herself was a peerless genius, and her strength was tyrannical. Her control over spatial energy was even more tyrannical. If not, why would GD favor her so much? But at this moment, she actually felt how insignificant her spatial energy was. She stared at Qing'er's cold and beautiful countenance, and the hatred in her eyes grew even more intense. Why was it like this? Why was the heavens so unfair? She was a peerless genius, yet she suffered the greatest humiliation in her life. But why was Qing'er so perfect? The heavens had already bestowed upon her a noble status and shocking talent, as well as a flawless countenance. Why was the heaven still protecting her? Nia Yunchang wanted to retract her hand, but to her astonishment, she discovered that her arms seemed to have been frozen solid. Spatial energy that glowed with a golden light enveloped her arm, sealing it in place. Even the terrifying spatial energy was frozen solid at this moment, and it continued to flow towards her body. Nia Yunchang's arm was gradually sealed shut, and the fearsome spatial energy continued to flow towards her body. Gradually, her body also froze under the pressure of that terrifying spatial energy. She was actually unable to unleash any of the energy in her body. She wanted to break free from Qing'er, but she discovered that it was already impossible for her to do so. Before this energy, she actually had no way to resist at all. An expression of self-mockery suddenly appeared on Nia Yunchang's face. She stared at Qing'er and laughed uproariously. So this is the case. No wonder your father, Evergreen, dotes on you the most out of all his children. No wonder Master is so protective of you, instructing the senior apprentice sisters to take care of you. So this is the case. Innate Immortal King. What a joke! Innate Immortal King isn't the end, it's the starting point of your cultivation, Nia Yunchang laughed maniacally. She inclined her head and stared at the terrifying spatial tempests raging in the air. Was her noble and proud life going to end just like that in this legendary sacred academy that was said to nurture ancient emperors? From afar, Huan Wudi, Bai Mao, and the others stared at the sky. Their eyes abruptly flickered as they saw a faint golden light shooting up into the sky. That might be Nia Yunchang, Huan Wudi spoke. After that, he increased his speed and sped in that direction. In another direction, several experts were gathered together. These were none other than the experts from the Battle Saint tribe and GD's followers who had blocked the pursuers for Qing'er back then. At this moment, the immortal sense of GD's followers seemed to have sensed something. Their eyes gleamed with sharpness as they stared in the direction of Qing'er. What a powerful spatial aura. Let's go. A powerful spatial energy radiated from her as well, causing her to be able to traverse through space and advance unceasingly. The experts from the Battle Saint tribe also sped forward, rushing in that direction. Even further away, Qin Wentian had transformed into a giant. He stomped on the ground, causing the earth to rumble as fissures appeared. The experts from the Battle Saint tribe circled around him as they advanced together. Everywhere they passed by, the heavens and earth trembled, causing the hearts of many to tremble. Qin Wentian's incomparably gigantic body could be seen even from extremely far away. At the location where Nia Yunchang and Qing'er were, after Nia Yunchang laughed maniacally, she stared at Qing'er and spoke, "You are truly a hypocrite." Qing'er stared at her unfamiliar senior sister as her expression turned cold. She still didn't hate Nia Yunchang, but the feelings she had for Nia Yunchang had completely vanished. This energy isn't under my control. In fact, I didn't even know that such a transformation would occur to me. But senior sister, since you feel this way, just treat it as me being a hypocrite. Qing'er spoke. After that, she blasted out with her palm, forcing Nia Yunchang back. At this moment, the terrifying spatial energy around Nia Yunchang dissipated as her frozen body regained its freedom. She stared in bewilderment at the beautiful silhouette before her, as though she was surprised that Qin Wentian would spare her. She then smiled, "Are you pitying me? Pitying me?" Qing'er was speechless. She understood that no matter what she did, no matter what she said, it was useless. From afar, there were two powerful auras nearing them. However, they still didn't move. Not too long after, two auras simultaneously arrived not too far away. They were none other than Huang Wudi and his group, as well as their senior sister from the Battle Saint tribe. Upon seeing this scene, the people from the Battle Saint tribe and GD's group all started. GD's followers then asked, "Qing'er, what's wrong?" She actually discovered that there were traces of tears at the corners of Qing'er's eyes. Also, both Nia Yunchang and Qing'er seemed to be acting strangely. Huang Yudi and his group only arrived at this moment. In that case, were those auras caused by Nia Yunchang and Qing'er? They were actually fighting. Qing'er was speechless. That senior sister then turned to Nia Yunchang. Nia Yunchang's countenance was as cold as ice. She involuntarily spoke, "Yunchang, what did you do to Qing'er?" Nia Yunchang's countenance was ice cold. She stared at her senior sister and mocked, "Qing'er, look, senior sister is truly on your side." Yunchang. That senior sister's frown deepened. "Nia Yunchang, you can't even execute a sneak attack properly. You are truly trash," Huang Yudi coldly spoke. The expressions of GD's followers all changed, becoming exceptionally unsightly to behold. Sneak attack. Nia Yunchang actually sneaked an attack on Qing'er. Why? Why did you do this? She questioned. Why? Why don't you ask her why she brought us into such a predicament? Why should I, Nia Yunchang, fight for her? Nia Yunchang coldly replied. Her senior sister fell silent when she heard that. She stared at Nia Yunchang before slowly speaking, "The moment we entered G Gate, we became sisters. Nia Yunchang, you are no longer fit to be master's disciple." Chapter 1203. Nia Yunchang stared at her senior apprentice sister, and her heart turned cold. She then started laughing uproariously, as though she had gone insane. Once they entered G Gate, they would become sisters, accompanying each other on the path to immortality. This was the admonition given to GD's followers when they first joined the sect. GD nurtured her disciples, and she didn't wish for the day to come when her disciples would point their weapons at each other. That would be a failure of hers as a master. Every supreme existence had their own way of teaching their disciples. Some preferred to let their disciples fight against each other, while others preferred to let their disciples support each other. GD belonged to the latter group. There were very few people who cultivated spatial energy, and those who had powerful spatial affinity were even rarer. It was harder for a woman to cultivate compared to a man. The world of mortals was lonely, and the path to immortality was lonely. GD hoped that her disciples would be able to support each other. But today, within the sacred academy, Nia Yunchang and Qing'er were facing each other. Senior apprentice sister, you don't know what I've experienced, yet you are criticizing me like this? Nia Yunchang laughed. Just because her background is better and her talent is higher. A demon has already formed in your heart. Although I don't know what you've experienced, since Huang Yudi ordered you to sneak attack Qing'er, I can naturally imagine it. My heart aches for you, but this isn't a reason for you to act against Qing'er. This senior apprentice sister's name was Imozian. She took good care of all her junior apprentice sisters and was respected by many of them. If senior apprentice sister was in my shoes, what would you do? Nia Yunchang asked. Either I die, or I kill them. This isn't a betrayal, Imozian replied without any hesitation. Her heart was resolute. This was her choice. Why should I die for her? Nia Yunchang still didn't understand. Everyone has their own ambitions. This is your choice. Nia Yunchang, although I feel pain in my heart, I cannot cover up what you have done. If we can get out of the sacred academy alive, I will naturally report the truth to my master and let him decide what to do. Imozian spoke, you are unwilling to accept this and you want to vent your anger on Qing'er. Most probably, you feel that you are implicated because of Qing'er, and all our senior apprentice sisters are also injured because of Qing'er. But I can tell you this. If the person the Nine Emperors' immortal empire humiliated back then was you, me, Qing'er and our senior apprentice sisters would also fight for you. Today, not only are we fighting for Qing'er, we are also fighting for you. We don't mind dying in battle, even if I no longer acknowledge you. If not, how would I have the face to call myself a disciple of Matriarch Ji? There's no such thing as a perfect and flawless thing in this world. Master taught you cultivation, bestowed upon you a position in the clan, and gave you unparalleled glory. Yet when you were asked to fight for your fellow apprentice sisters, you cowered. In that case, why did you still want to join the sect? Hence, some things were already destined the moment we joined the sect, Imozian slowly spoke, causing Nia Yunchang's heart to tremble. The crazed smile on her face vanished, replaced by tears. Today, they would also fight for her. They wouldn't hesitate to die in battle. Was she wrong? Imozian no longer looked at Nia Yunchang. Instead, she stared at Huang Wudi and the others. Boundless rage could be seen burning in her eyes. Her ice-cold eyes were filled with boundless killing intent. Marvelous. Huang Yudi laughed. Very touching, but so what of it? Just like what you have said, from the moment you all joined the battle, everything was already destined. What sort of character is my royal brother? His magnificence is unparalleled throughout the generations, and he is unrivaled in the sacred academy. Him taking a liking to your junior apprentice sister is an honor for her. However, all of you feel that this is a humiliation to her. Since this is the case, I can only let all of you, GD's followers, understand what true humiliation is. As the sound of his voice faded, the experts beside him moved towards Imozian and the others, releasing their immortal foundations as a fearsome might gushed forth. Imozian and the others similarly released their auras. The expert from the Battle Saint tribe had a terrifying cultivation base. With a loud roar, he transformed into a giant as a divine ape appeared behind him, radiating boundless battle might. Qing'er slowly turned her gaze over, staring at Huang Shatian. Her eyes flickered with a terrifying coldness. She didn't blame Nia Yunchang. Even though she was betrayed by her, she didn't feel any resentment in her heart. However, she hated Huang Yuti. All of these people deserved to die. A terrifying spatial storm bloomed from her body. Her body was wrapped in the terrifying power of laws. In an instant it was as if she had been possessed by laws. Her body seemed to have become a body of laws, flowing with incomparably intense power of spatial laws, shrouding the void around her. Emichem. Huang Wuti frowned. Before this, he had already noticed some changes in Qing'er. Now that Qing'er was releasing her aura, it was even more obvious. This sort of energy felt somewhat similar to the energy circulating in Huang Shaishan's body. But how could this be possible? What was a body of laws? Transforming one's body into laws. This was an ability only immortal kings had. Being able to reach this step meant that one had already come into contact with the gate of the immortal king realm. Qing'er was still so weak, she was only at the 5th level of immortal foundation. How could she have come into contact with the gate of the immortal king realm? Mo Zian could sense the changes in Qing'er as a look of bewilderment flashed in her eyes. Was this the innate immortal king her master had mentioned before? Junior sister Qing'er was destined to become an immortal king character from birth. To her, there was no gate to the immortal king realm. Once her cultivation base reached a certain level, she could directly step into it. Right now, even though her cultivation base hasn't reached that level, she had already come into contact with the gate of the immortal king realm. Royal brother, you deal with that old woman. Leave that Qin Wentian woman to me. Huang Yuti spoke. Mo Zian didn't look old, she only looked to be in her 30s. However, it was clear that he was intentionally insulting her. Be careful, there seems to be some changes happening to her. Huang Wuti reminded. Don't worry. Huang Yuti was defeated by Qin Wentian, he was defeated by Jun Mingchen. How could he still be defeated now? Huang Wuti glanced at the person beside him and transmitted his voice, instructing him to watch over Huang Yuti and be prepared to act as reinforcements at any moment. After that, he himself stepped out, moving towards Mo Zian. Huang Yuti's side had 8 experts. But on his side, other than Mo Zian and Qing'er, there were 2 other experts from the Battle Saint tribe. There was a total of 4 people. Huang Yuti and Huang Yuti each had to fight alone. With one person guarding Huang Yuti, the other 5 experts, including Bai Mao, only needed to deal with the 2 experts from the Battle Saint tribe. The battle instantly erupted. Qing'er walked towards Huang Yuti step by step. The 6 human emperors appeared around Huang Yuti as the human emperor immortal empire radiated a dazzling light, slashing towards Qing'er. However, when these beams of immortal light landed on Qing'er's body, it was as though they had slashed into the void, disappearing completely. Around Qing'er's body, the power of laws flowed like divine splendor, forming a spatial world around her. Die! Huang Yuti coldly roared. The immortal light grew even stronger, transforming into countless sharp swords that slashed down. Qing'er's eyes were as cold as ice. She stepped out, ignoring the attacks that landed on her. Her body seemed to have traversed through space, arriving before Huang Yuti. She blasted out the immortal slaying diagram, instantly causing the space around her to tremble. The terrifying diagram sliced through space, wanting to destroy everything as it shot towards Huang Yuti. Careful! An expert walked over. His attack was like a sword from the heavens, directly piercing towards Qing'er's head. The might behind it was shocking, enveloping the entire space, wanting to destroy everything. Qing'er still didn't retreat. Her countenance was as cold as ever. Her slender hands stretched out, grabbing out in the air. At this instant, Huang Yuti only felt that he couldn't move at all. A terrifying spatial energy slashed into his body. Bang! That violent sword might slashed down. Boundless light of spatial laws flowed around Qing'er, enveloping her within. All the sharp swords were subdued, but she still managed to pull Huang Yuti's body back with her. She moved like a bolt of lightning, directly shattering the spatial barrier. But even so, Huang Yudi still coughed out a few mouthfuls of blood. His countenance paled as he stared at the figure in front of him. His heart pounded violently. He was defeated again and was defeated so miserably. He was known as someone who was a match for him under the heavens, yet he was defeated 3 times in a row by people with lower cultivation bases. And now, he couldn't even withstand a single strike. Careful, surround her and kill her. She controls a trace of immortal king might. Huang Wudi's conjecture was verified. The daughter of the evergreen immortal sect actually controlled a trace of immortal king might at the 5th level of immortal foundation. This was simply unimaginable. But the immortal realms were simply too vast, the heavens would bestow different talents to everyone. Controlling the might of an immortal king, even if it was just a trace, was already extremely terrifying. She definitely couldn't be measured by her current cultivation base. Qing'er continued walking towards Huang Yudi, her cold eyes flashing with killing intent. However, at this moment, there were 3 experts blocking her path, including Bai Mao. Qing'er acted as though she didn't see them and continued forward. Spatial energy opened up a path as she traversed the distance once again, appearing before Huang Yudi. The terrifying spatial energy caused Huang Yudi's body to freeze. The experts behind Qing'er were all shocked. Wu Xiu, who could control spatial energy, was truly terrifying. All of them prepared a sure-kill attack and blasted it towards Qing'er. Even if she controlled a trace of immortal king might, they still wanted to kill her. Careful. Huang Wudi turned pale. Qing'er was willing to pay any price to kill Huang Yudi. Boom! An incomparably violent killing intent bore down. Mo Xian's attack made it so that Huang Wudi had no way to break free. He could only place his hopes on the 3 experts. Qing'er's finger slashed down towards Huang Yudi's head. If this attack landed, Huang Yudi would die for sure. At this instant, Huang Yudi's body trembled violently. His expression was one of utter defeat, no longer filled with arrogance. His arms and legs gradually froze, sealed by the spatial energy, unable to move. He could only wait for death. He stared at the back of Qing'er. The attacks of the 3 experts would definitely kill Qing'er first. But at this moment, a dazzling spatial light suddenly flashed behind Qing'er. Another silhouette appeared there with her back facing Qing'er, blocking in front of Qing'er. This person was none other than Nie Yunchang. She gathered the boundless energy of her immortal foundation, transforming it into a terrifying spatial diagram before her. When the attacks of the 3 experts landed, the diagram shattered, as well as her immortal foundation. And at the same time, Qing'er's killing intent slammed into the center of Huang Yudi's brows. At this moment, Huang Yudi's eyes were filled with boundless terror and despair. As the finger landed, countless spatial cracks appeared on his head. His eyes could no longer move. Yunchang. Mo Xian's heart pounded violently when she saw the tragic scene unfolding before her. Tears could also be seen in her eyes. The earth was trembling, but their hearts were trembling even more violently. They couldn't even feel the rumbling of the earth. Chapter 1204. Boom! A thunderous sound rang out as Nie Yunchang's body slammed into Qing'er's. The terrifying impact caused the 2 of them to be flung through the air. Huang Yudi's body plummeted downwards. The expressions of the 3 experts changed as they caught hold of Huang Yudi's body. At this moment, their hearts were pounding violently. She actually dared to kill, directly killing Huang Yudi of the 9 Emperors' immortal state. She didn't care about the consequences and didn't hesitate to kill him. At this moment, Huang Yudi, who was said to be a match for everyone under the heavens, had died in the sacred academy. Someone as arrogant as him would never have imagined that he would die in the hands of that woman named Qing'er. How arrogant was he once? He stared at Jun Mengchen with disdain, declaring to Jun Mengchen that since his royal elder brother had spoken, Qing was the woman of his royal brother. There was no need for him to interfere, and there was no need for him to know who Qing was. But before he died, he learned that the woman named Qing was someone who could take his life. At the moment before he died, did he regret his arrogance, regretting that he had died in the sacred academy? The battle between Huang Wudi and Mo Zian stopped. Their bodies flickered, and Huang Wudi appeared in front of Huang Yudi, while Mo Zian appeared in front of Nye Yunchang. Huang Wudi hugged Huang Yudi's corpse, and a trace of sorrow could be seen in his eyes. Although he didn't really like this younger brother of his, who was arrogant and despotic and didn't respect him, and only had Huang Shatian in his eyes, the truth was that Wudi and Yudi were blood brothers. They had the same father and mother, while Huang Shatian was only a half-brother. Therefore, between the two of them, one was invincible, while the other was invincible. Huang Yudi had always thought highly of himself, and believed that he would surpass his elder brother sooner or later. Hence, he did not have much respect for him. Instead, he admired Huang Shatian, who was more talented. But so what? Huang Shatian was his younger brother, and blood was thicker than water. Now, he was dead. The daughter of the Evergreen clan actually dared to kill him. Nye Yunchang wasn't dead yet, she seemed to still have a breath of life left in her body. Her immortal foundation was shattered and her life force was severed. Her aura was flowing rapidly, but there was still a smile in her eyes as she stared at Qing and Mo Zian. In the end, I still made a choice. Nye Yunchang had a bitter smile on her face. After hearing Mo Zian's words, an intense doubt appeared in her heart. She doubted herself, but she still had hatred in her heart. This lasted until she saw how Qing was willing to sacrifice everything to kill Huang Yudi for her sake. Even if there were 3 powerful experts behind her, she wouldn't hesitate. She had to kill him no matter what. At this moment, Nye Yunchang seemed to understand something. Her so-called hypocrisy was nothing more than a figment of her imagination. Even when she stabbed a sharp blade into Qing's heart, Qing still didn't feel any hatred towards her. In that case, what did everything she did count for? Since you chose the path of life, why do you have to turn back? Mo Zian spoke with pain in her heart. No matter what, I'm still Master's disciple. If she expelled me from the sect, I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to accept it even if I died. Nye Yunchang inclined her head and stared at the sky. It was as though she could see the majestic and benevolent countenance of her master. Her eyes flickered with a smile as she stared at Qing, then at the sky. Her smile was extremely radiant, as though she had been freed of all restraints. Her life had been glorious and dazzling before. Although it was short, even if it withered away, it should still be resplendent. Senior sister, why? Qing closed her eyes in agony. She felt as though her heart was being sliced apart by blades. Nye Yunchang didn't reply. Her life force was rapidly flowing away, but her beautiful eyes were still as bright as ever. Without the support of her immortal foundation, her internal organs were all shattered, and her immortal energy had lost its source. Her life force naturally wouldn't be able to sustain it any longer. She was already on the verge of death. The earth continued to rumble and rumble. Far away in the horizon, the silhouette of a giant appeared. When Nye Yunchang saw the silhouette of the giant, she mumbled in a low voice, "Your lover is here to look for you." As she spoke, she slowly closed her eyes. Her life force continued to flow away until it completely disappeared. There was not a single trace of it left. Huang Wudi inclined his head and stared at the sky in the distance. He also saw the silhouette of the giant, and his eyes flashed with an intense killing intent. He swept his gaze over to Qing and the others as he coldly spoke, "Kill without mercy." Boom! An incomparably terrifying battle palm imprint blasted over, blotting out the sun. That expert from the Battle Saint tribe came to the side of Mo Zian and spoke, "Go." Mo Zian caught Nye Yunchang's body. A terrifying spatial energy enveloped her as they sped away together, transforming into a beam of spatial light. Huang Wudi's aura was terrifying to the extreme. He frenziedly chased after them, moving with lightning speed towards Mo Zian and the others. Evidently, Mo Zian and the others wanted to join forces with the giant. This was something he couldn't tolerate. Once Qin Wentian joined forces with these people, it would be even more difficult for them to kill them. How fast were those who were proficient in spatial energy? This was especially so for someone as powerful as Mo Zian. Her spatial energy flashed unceasingly in the air as they fled further and further away. Only Huang Wudi and the other two experts were able to catch up to Mo Zian and the others. The rumbling sounds continued as the tremors of the earth grew more and more intense. Mo Zian, who was speeding forward, got nearer and nearer to the giant. At the end, the giant also seemed to know of their existence and began to move in a straight line towards them. Qin Wentian indeed knew where Qin and Mo Zian were. This was because he had the 3 esteemed monks of the Wenxin temple with him. These esteemed monks were proficient in the secret arts of the Buddhist path and possessed boundless might. At the end, Huang Wudi and the others had given up. Finally, Qin Wentian met up with Mo Zian and the others. When he saw Qin, a radiant smile appeared in Qin Wentian's eyes. Although she looked somewhat haggard, he was already very happy that she was fine. However, after that, when he saw Nia Yinchang's corpse in Mo Zian's arms, his expression changed. After which, he reverted back to his original state and walked to Mo Zian's side, staring at the corpse of GD's followers. He was speechless. Junior apprentice sister Yunchang died in battle, Mo Zian spoke. She didn't mention Nia Yinchang's betrayal. She only said one sentence. She didn't wish for Nia Yunchang to have any more blemishes on her reputation. She wouldn't mention it, and Qin wouldn't mention it as well, even to Qin Wentian. In fact, the experts of the Battle Saint tribe wouldn't even mention it. They knew the reason behind Nia Yinchang's death, and they would choose to respect her. Qin Wentian stared at Nia Yinchang's corpse. A supreme beauty who exuded magnificence throughout the generations had died because of this war. Who was at fault exactly? We still need to continue moving forward, Qin Wentian spoke after a moment of silence. We can't afford to suffer any more losses. This debt will be settled in the future. Mo Zian naturally understood that the most important thing now was to gather all the people who were fleeing, including her other sisters. Qin Wentian didn't even have time to reminisce about old times with Qin. He directly transformed back into his giant form and continued moving forward. Rumbling sounds echoed out as they continued moving forward. On the way, more and more people gathered here. Only when they reached the deepest part of the sacred mountain did they decide to stop for a short while before leaving. Many days had already passed. From the top of the ancient mountain, one could see a boundless world of glaciers. This sacred academy seemed to have no end. They decided not to continue moving forward. If they had truly fled this far, the Battle Saint tribe wouldn't have chased them so deep. Elder sister Qing seems to be a little strange. At this moment, Mo Qingqing stood beside Qin Wentian, staring at the beautiful silhouette standing alone on the peak of the mountain. Qin Wentian could also sense it. During these days, Qin had been cold. Because she had always been like this, Qin Wentian didn't feel anything strange at the start. But as time passed, he gradually discovered that something was wrong. Go and take a look. Mo Qingqing gently smiled as she released Qin Wentian's hand. Okay. Qin Wentian nodded. His silhouette flickered as he arrived at the peak of the ancient mountain. He quietly stood beside Qin, silently gazing at the scenery in the distance. He didn't intentionally disturb them. The cold wind gusted by, yet the two of them didn't seem to feel it. Their robes fluttered in the wind, and Qin Wentian's body was pressed against Qin Er's, allowing her to feel that she was right beside him. Qin Er's body leaned against Qin Wentian's shoulder, as though she wanted to find a comfortable place to lean on. Qin Wentian hugged her waist, allowing her head to rest on his shoulder. Qin, let's sit down. Qin Wentian spoke in a low voice. Qin, lightly nodded her head, and the two of them sat down. Qin, chest was slightly tilted, and her body unceasingly leaned towards Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian took the opportunity to pull her into his embrace. At this moment, his heart wasn't as calm as he appeared on the surface. Qin had always been cold. She was strong and independent, and had never been so attached to him before. At this moment, he could truly feel her fragility. Wentian, were we wrong? Qin softly asked. She rested her head on Qin Wentian's thighs as her beautiful eyes stared into the distance. In this world, there's no such thing as right or wrong, only the strong and the weak. There are some things that we can't control. There are many people in the Sacred Academy who are eyeing you covetously, but your fellow apprentice sisters all stood by your side without any hesitation, fighting for you. You should be grateful and cherish these feelings, but there's no need to blame yourself. If they met with trouble, I believe you would also stand up for them without any hesitation, am I right? Given how sharp Qin Wentian's senses were, how could he not know what Qin was referring to? Nye Yinchang's death must have affected her greatly. But ultimately, they were embroiled in this war because of me. Qin still blamed herself. She couldn't forget Nye Yinchang's words, and couldn't forget the smile on her face before her death. Qin Wentian knew that no matter how he tried to persuade her, it was useless. This was an unsolvable problem. In truth, he would also ask himself if he could do it all over again. If he could do it all over again, would he be able to do it better? He didn't know. No one would know. The only thing he could do now was to make himself stronger. This way, no one would dare to bully those around him. If he wasn't strong enough, he would have to maintain a certain level of vigilance. Qin Wentian lowered his head and stared at Qin. He discovered that there were crystalline tears in her eyes. Despite her strong character, at this moment, she was lying in his embrace, unable to conceal her fragility. Qin, tears can also heal wounds. Qin Wentian gently spoke, hugging Qin even tighter. Qin's tears unceasingly flowed down her cheeks. She shifted her body, changing her direction and burrowing into Qin Wentian's embrace, hugging him tightly. Perhaps, only in front of the person she loved the most would she be able to let go of all pretense, to let go of all her strength. Qin Wentian hugged the delicate figure in his embrace. His heart felt like it was about to melt. He gazed at the scenery in the distance. There was no scenery in this world that could compare to the beauty of Qin's tears. Those tears contained her exquisite emotions. Chapter 1205. Qin Wentian and the others finally returned. He was still in his giant form, stomping on the ground. On his left and right shoulders, Qin and Mo Qingqing stood respectively, exuding a breathtaking aura. All the experts around him floated in the air as he sped towards the central region of the Sacred Academy. More and more people who were separated from the group gathered together. When they returned to the central region of the Sacred Academy, they saw a shocking scene that caused the hearts of many to tremble. Qin Wentian had returned, he had brought back his two beauties. Not only did they return, they even started to search for the experts of the White Tiger People's Alliance. This time around, it was their turn to gather together and retaliate. Another storm of carnage ensued. Within the central region of the Sacred Academy, several more geniuses were slaughtered mercilessly by Qin Wentian and the others. As for the two greater white tigers, they were roasted once again. Qin Wentian and the others sat together, roasting the white tiger meat. The fragrance of the white tiger wafted over, causing the spectators from afar to salivate. Their hearts were filled with shock as they stared at these crazy fellows. After that, the news of Huang Yudi's death was circulated to the Sacred Academy, causing the entire Sacred Academy to be in a state of shock. What sort of character was Huang Yuti? He was the second strongest existence in the younger generation of the 9 emperors' immortal state, a supreme genius. He was also the younger brother of Huang Shatian. Huang Yuti was actually killed. This news was like a bolt from the blue to many geniuses. Qin Wentian's killing spree was no longer limited to the White Tiger people. They even dared to kill Huang Shatian. This was simply too crazy. If Huang Shatian knew that his younger brother, Huang Yuti, had been killed, how angry would he be? Would rivers of blood flow in this sacred academy? This news swiftly circulated to all 4 sacred academies. Many experts of the White Tiger People's Alliance started to panic. Once, they frenziedly hunted down the experts of the Nam Huang clan, waiting for Qin Wentian to exit the Supreme Might rankings. However, never in their wildest dreams did they expect that after Qin Wentian exited the rankings, their nightmare would begin. Qin Wentian and the others ate the roasted white tiger meat as their strength soared. Mo Qingqing's cultivation base was the lowest, but the benefits she received were the most obvious. She actually broke through, stepping into the second level of Immortal Foundation. Naturally, her cultivation base had no influence on this battle. But Qin Wentian was still very happy to see her gradually growing stronger. Later on, we will head to the other 2 sacred academies and gather everyone together. Qin Wentian spoke. Everyone nodded their heads, all of them hoped to reunite with their fellow disciples as soon as possible. Enough. In the air, a supreme pressure bore down. This was the law pressure of the Sacred Academy. At this instant, this pressure enveloped all 4 Tiandao sacred academies, including the sky-connecting realm. Countless people inclined their heads and stared at the sky. The Sacred Academy was originally a place of cultivation. You all broke the rules of the Sacred Academy, and that's why we allowed you to kill so many people. Right now, both sides have suffered heavy casualties. Have you learned your lesson? A majestic voice rang out in the ears of everyone. However, even though this was the voice of the Sacred Academy, everyone didn't agree with it. Cultivation places had to compete with each other before they could improve themselves. If not, there wouldn't be a sky-connecting realm in the first place. The rules of the Sacred Academy had always maintained a bottom line, protecting their lives. From now on, no matter who it is, stop killing. I will allow you all to find your friends. If you all want to fight, do as you please. But remember this, you are not allowed to break the rules of the Sacred Academy. If not, the Sacred Academy will expel you. As the sound of the voice faded, the expressions of Qin Wentian and the others froze. Everyone, stop killing. In that case, what about their friends who died? All of them felt some reluctance, but at the same time, they felt a sense of relief. Everyone was extremely tense in this battle, they didn't know when their friends would die. In fact, they didn't even know when it would be their turn to die. They didn't forget that they still had a powerful enemy, Huang Shatian. If he appeared, who would be able to stop him? Hence, at this moment, their emotions were conflicted and complicated. There was reluctance, but at the same time, they felt relieved. In the air, a gigantic diagram appeared. This diagram was boundlessly vast and everyone knew what it was with a single glance. This diagram was none other than the diagram of the Sacred Academy, it had the outline of the entire academy within it. More accurately speaking, it was a reflection of the entire academy. Because at this moment, everyone could see themselves in the diagram above their heads. Their silhouettes were all reflected within. The entire Tiandao Sacred Academy trembled. They could actually see everyone. How clear! Someone sighed in admiration. Above the Sacred Academy, that divinity-like existence was truly omnipotent. Senior sister is there. GD's followers pointed in a few directions. Yunshi is there as well as Shinga. An expert from the Namhuang clan spoke. The experts from the Battle Saint tribe also saw their companions. Qin Wentian also saw Purgatory and Little Rascal. They were actually together, hiding in an extremely desolate location. He also saw Hua Taishu and Zi Qingxian. In fact, there was a battle going on in another location. However, the battle suddenly stopped. They inclined their heads and stared at the sky, clearly hearing the imposing voice of the Sacred Academy. After that, Qin Wentian saw Huang Wudian by Mao as a cold killing intent flashed in his eyes. Huang Shatian doesn't seem to be here. He should be cultivating in a secret realm somewhere. Someone from afar spoke. Look over there. Someone pointed to a secret realm. The 4 devil kings of the myriad devil islands were guarding it, sitting there and cultivating. After that, a figure walked out with his hands clasped behind his back, exuding magnificence. This person was none other than Huang Shatian. Huang Shatian is out. At this moment, countless gazes landed on Huang Shatian. Huang Yudi had died. Most probably, Huang Shatian still had no idea about this news. People from the 9 Emperors' immortal state, White Tiger people, Tenlon Heaven Kingdom, all of them turned their gazes to the direction where Huang Shatian was at. There might be several people in the Sacred Academy whose strength wasn't inferior to Huang Shatian. But because of this battle in the Sacred Academy, Huang Shatian was undoubtedly the most famous among them. Only to see Huang Shatian slowly walking out. His entire body seemed to be filled with law energy. He walked towards the 4 devil kings. The 4 of them stood up at the same time as their devil might towered up into the sky. Huang Shatian punched out. The human emperor descended upon the world, staring down at the heavens and earth as he blasted out an emperor fist at the 4 devil cultivators. However, the 4 devil cultivators were able to trap Huang Shatian. How powerful were they? The blood-colored judgment energy was like a cage, destroying Huang Shatian's attack. But at this moment, Huang Shatian seemed to have been possessed by a human emperor. He transformed into a human emperor, unexcelled in the world. His attacks were like the attacks of a human emperor, capable of crushing all existences. A terrifying battle appeared in the vision of everyone, causing the void to tremble. Even from afar, everyone could feel the boundless might of the battle. The 4 devil kings were actually unable to withstand the attacks of the human emperor like Huang Shatian. He grew stronger and stronger, even allowing the boundless judgment energy to enter his body. He still managed to land a human emperor fist on one of the devil kings, causing that devil king to be flung through the air. The other 3 devil kings sped over at top speed. However, cracks started to appear in the originally flawless judgment energy. Although they were still powerful, they understood that if the battle continued, they might be defeated. Hence, they actually retreated. This time around, Huang Shatian defeated the alliance of 4 incomparably tyrannical devil kings. Huang Shatian has returned. The cultivators of the 9 Emperors' immortal state were excited. Was he finally back? When Huang Shatian appeared, who could compete with him? After Qin Wentian's return, they suffered an unprecedented blow. Now, an even more powerful Huang Shatian had returned. Unfortunately, the rules of the Sacred Academy actually forbade killing. At this moment, one cultivator after another moved in the direction of Huang Shatian. They were actually preparing to gather around Huang Shatian. Qin Wentian calmly watched all of this. His body grew larger. At this moment, in the void scroll, his figure was so conspicuous. One could see that the cultivators of the Namhuang clan alliance were all moving towards him with him as the center. Naturally, other than Huang Shatian and Qin Wentian, there were also many other powerful cultivators cultivating in different locations. For example, in a certain location, there was a terrifying devil cultivator that seemed to be the descendant of a devil god. He was 2 meters tall and had devilish eyes. He stood on the ground, roaming the world alone. And in another location, a powerful expert from the Sanluo Immortal Empire was currently fighting against an expert from the demon race. Facing the joint attacks of several experts, he swept through everything in his path. There was also a mysterious and terrifying character from the Beast God sect. He was shrouded in black mist, and there were actually over 10 greater demons before him, including experts from the White Tiger people and Tianping people. He didn't kill them, nor did he cripple them. This couldn't be considered breaking the rules of the Sacred Academy, but he was absorbing their energy bit by bit. In a certain location in the Sacred Academy, Jia Nantian let out a long howl as he soared up into the clouds. Spreading his wings, he transformed into a gigantic golden-winged great rock, becoming the sovereign of the skies as he flew towards the expert from the Beast God sect. There was actually someone who dared to act against his Tianping people, using them to cultivate. Jiang Ziyu and several experts from the Jiang clan stood together. There was a 9th-level Immortal Foundation expert among them. His aura was unparalleled, and he stood shoulder to shoulder with Jiang Ziyu. Just a single glance from him gave off an unfathomable feeling. In an ancient hall in the Sacred Academy, a group of devil experts stood there. The person in the lead was none other than the mysterious priestess of the Judiciary Devil Hall. She quietly stood there as the 4 defeated devil cultivators came to report. She glanced at the void scroll in the sky before moving towards the direction where Qin Wentian was at. Chu Qingyi also saw Qin Wentian. She stared at the figure she loved and hated at the same time. He was like a divinity standing in the air, summoning his companions, but at the same time, attracting his enemies. After entering the Tiandao Sacred Academy for a short period of over 40 years, Qin Wentian already stood at the peak of the Sacred Academy, becoming one of the most dazzling characters in the Sacred Academy. Finally, someone appeared before Huang Shatian. Huang Shatian learned of the news that Huang Yudi was killed, but there were no fluctuations of aura from him. He merely inclined his head and glanced at the void scroll in the sky. His gaze then landed in the direction of Qin Wentian and Qing'er as an incomparably sharp killing intent flashed in his eyes. For those who have enemies, kill. No matter who they are, kill. No matter if the rules of the Sacred Academy allow it or not, kill. Chapter 1206. Qin Wentian also stared at Huang Shatian. The two of them stared at each other from the diagram in the air, staring at each other from afar. Their eyes gleamed with a similar light, that was the coldness of killing intent. Huang Shatian didn't move forward. There were too many experts gathered around Qin Wentian. Although he was already at the peak of Immortal Foundation, it was impossible for him to fight against so many experts alone. Wordless from the Wenxin Temple was already very difficult to deal with. There were also the experts from the Battle Saint tribe and Jidi's followers. Even if Huang Shatian was incomparably confident in his own strength, he wouldn't be so conceited. He waited for the experts to gather around him. With him as the center, the experts from the White Tiger People Alliance gathered. With Qin Wentian as the center, the experts from the Namhuang Clan Alliance gathered. Even with the might of the Sacred Academy, they had no intentions of stopping. Both sides were geniuses at the peak of the immortal realms. The number of casualties in this battle was far from what it could be compared to back then when they fought in the Sky Connecting Realm. A gust of wind rose in the Sacred Academy. When the two powers gathered, the golden-winged great rock was like the sovereign of the skies, directly attacking the mysterious expert from the Beast God sect. Right now, Jia Nanshan's cultivation base was at the peak of Immortal Foundation, and he was also a pure-blooded golden-winged great rock. His wings were sharper than immortal weapons, and his claws could even shatter immortal weapons. Each of his attacks contained the power to reap lives. However, everyone discovered that this unknown expert from the Beast God sect in the Sacred Academy was actually so powerful that it was terrifying. He was actually proficient in controlling the myriad of beasts and was like the lord of all beasts. His gaze was extremely terrifying, even able to affect Jia Nantian. He could make the myriad of beasts submit to him, prostrating themselves beneath his feet. The two of them violently fought, shaking the heavens and earth. Jia Nantian was like the sovereign of the sky while the expert from the beast god sect was like the king of all beasts. The two of them fought for a long time yet neither of them could do anything to the other. This caused the hearts of the spectators to tremble. This mysterious expert from the beast god sect actually had the strength to contend against Jia Nantian. Clearly, he was also one of the characters that stood at the peak of the Tiandao Sacred Academy. Nam Huang Yunshi returned to Qin Wentian's side. Little Rascal and Purgatory returned as well. The experts from the various powers all returned one after another. When they saw them, smiles flashed in the eyes of many. However, there were also a few who had disappeared, there were still quite a few who had died. They were hunted down while they were fleeing for their lives. In fact, they didn't even know who was the one who killed them. Their eyes were filled with rage as they stared at the silhouettes around Huang Shatian. Without a doubt, these silhouettes belonged to the White Tiger Alliance. Those silhouettes that vanished were all killed by experts from the White Tiger Alliance. Huang Shatian moved. The experts from the White Tiger People Alliance respected him as their leader. Although they were arrogant, they still believed in strength. Among them, Huang Shatian was the strongest. He naturally had the qualifications to command them. A group of figures flew over from another sacred academy, heading towards the sacred academy where Qin Wentian was at. Even though the sacred academy released the majestic voice of law, it was still unable to extinguish the anger of both sides. Regardless of Huang Shatian or Qin Wentian, all of them felt the same way. Before the battle at the Sky Connecting Realm, in truth, both sides had some reservations. But after the true life and death battle unfolded, the reservations they felt grew lesser and lesser. When the experts from the Nine Emperors' Immortal State and the White Tiger People gained the absolute advantage and chased after the experts from the Nam Huang clan, when they surrounded the holy maidens of the Nam Huang clan, their hearts started to swell up. They thought that even if they humiliated the holy maidens and killed them, who would know who was the one who did it? There were so many powers participating. The Nine Emperors' Immortal State, the White Tiger People, Zidi's followers, the Lightning God Hall, and the Tenlon Heaven Kingdom were all disciples of peak powers. Could it be that the Nam Huang clan dared to declare war on all of them? Their arrogant attitude caused them to lose respect, forgetting the reservations they had at the very beginning, which led to their deaths. When the hatred of death enveloped the Nam Huang clan and Zidi's followers, when they launched their counterattack, how could they have any reservations? Nia Yinchang's death had provoked Qin Er. Even if it was Huang Yudi, she would still kill him. From the moment the sky-piercing battle erupted, the situation had already spiraled out of control. When Huang Shatian and the others slowly walked over to Qin Wentian, the countless geniuses in the surroundings could all sense the terrifying killing intent radiating from Huang Shatian. In fact, they all felt that even if the Sacred Academy was enraged, Huang Shatian would still kill to avenge Huang Yudi. This was especially so when they saw the calmness in Huang Shaishan's eyes that were terrifying to the extreme. This thought was even more ingrained in their hearts. Staring at Huang Shatian leading his group of experts, the people around Qin Wentian all had heavy expressions on their faces. Back then during the sky-piercing battle, it was this Huang Shatian who reversed everything. Now, he even domineeringly defeated the 4 devil cultivators from the myriad devil islands. How tyrannical had his strength reached? Who could stop him? Those who paid attention noticed that not far away from them, a group of experts from the myriad devil islands appeared. It was none other than the priestess leading the 4 devil cultivators as well as the other experts from the myriad devil islands. It was as though she had already quietly appeared before Huang Shatian. She was very quiet. The experts from both sides no longer needed to look at the picture scroll in the sky. Their vision could directly see each other's existences. Huang Shatian stepped in the air, each step he took contained a law energy of the great Tao, as though he was trampling on the hearts of everyone. His face was expressionless, yet he exuded a terrifying pressure. His silhouette exuded magnificence throughout the generations, exuding an aura of supremacy. When he arrived not far away from Qin Wentian and the others, Huang Shatian halted. He stood in the air, staring down at Qin Wentian and the others. Those cold eyes of his seemed to be staring at a group of dead people, devoid of any emotions. He swept a glance at Qin Wentian. Just a single glance, his gaze directly swept past Qin Wentian. It was as though in the eyes of Huang Shatian, his opponent had never been Qin Wentian. Or more accurately, none of the experts before him had the qualifications to be his opponent. They weren't worthy. But it was precisely this group of people that led to the death of his royal brother, Huang Yudi. He could allow Huang Yudi to encounter some setbacks and tribulations. Even if he encountered some humiliation, he felt that it was a form of tempering, grinding away the wildness of his personality. But now, Huang Yudi was dead. He had disappeared forever. He had been killed. The person who killed him was that woman, the woman he had once praised. She was the daughter of Chongqing the Great and the disciple of G.D. Huang Shaishan's gaze swept past Qin Wentian and fell directly on Qin, who was behind him. I met you once in the Sacred Academy. I thought that you were very good and had great potential. That was indeed the case. Otherwise, Yudi wouldn't have died at your hands. Huang Shatian stared at Qin, as he coldly continued, however, how could you dare to kill him? How could you dare to kill him? Qin's cold gaze similarly stared at Huang Shatian. There was no fear in her eyes. How could she not dare to kill him? After Nia Yunchang said those words to her, she didn't blame her senior sister. However, her hatred for Huang Yudi had reached the extreme. She had never wanted to kill someone so badly before. Hence, she disregarded everything, even disregarding her own safety, all for the sake of killing Huang Yudi. How could she not dare to do so? Even if she had to rush over once more, she would still kill him without any hesitation. What a stubborn woman. Now, no matter what I say, it would be useless. My younger brother is already dead. Even if I kill you, how can I save his life? Huang Shatian calmly spoke. He glanced behind him and an instant later, an expert carried a corpse over. This corpse was none other than Huang Yudi, the Huang Yudi who was killed by Huang Shatian. If you wish to die more quickly, kneel before my younger brother and kowtow in repentance. I will let you suffer less. Huang Shatian calmly spoke, his voice filled with extreme arrogance as well as boundless coldness. With regards to the person who killed his younger brother Huang Yudi, Huang Shatian not only wanted Qin to die, he also wanted her to kneel in repentance. How dare you, GD's followers Moz and icily spoke. Huang Shatian deserves to die. You should be one of the participants, right? Since you are GD's followers, kneel, kowtow and cripple your immortal foundation, I won't kill you. Huang Shatian stared at Moz as he spoke. Moz was also proficient in spatial energy and was very powerful. However, she was still disregarded by Huang Shatian. In this place, if he wanted to kill someone, who could obstruct him? One of GD's disciples carried Nia Yinchang's corpse as she walked forward. Her gaze was cold as she stared at Huang Shatian. Huang Wudi, Bai Mao. At this moment, a voice suddenly rang out. It was Qin Wentian who spoke. Huang Shatian and the others turned their gazes over, landing on Qin Wentian. However, Qin Wentian didn't even look at Huang Shatian. Just like him, Qin Wentian's gaze directly swept past him, landing on Huang Wudi and Bai Mao. The two of you kneel before Nia Yunchang and kowtow in repentance. I will let you two die more quickly, Qin Wentian coldly spoke. A moment later, everyone was shocked as they stared at Qin Wentian in bewilderment. He used Huang Shaishan's words to return it to the other party. How impudent! You don't know the immensity of the heavens and earth. Are you even worthy? An expert from the 9 Emperors' immortal state spoke in rage. This Qin Wentian most probably didn't know that a calamity was about to befall him. Back then in the Wenqin temple, Buyu, there were still 4 experts protecting you. That's why you were able to struggle at death's door and flee like a stray dog. Today, you actually still dare to speak such arrogant words? After your woman dies, she won't be lonely. After I kill her, I will take your life. A stray dog? Qin Wentian laughed. Back then, that 8th level Immortal Foundation prince of your 9 emperors immortal state must have thought so as well. That's why you guys don't even know how he died. The gazes of everyone stiffened. They instantly recalled that back then, Huang Dangtian and several other experts chased after Qin Wentian, who was at the 5th level of Immortal Foundation. After that, they all disappeared. Now that they heard Qin Wentian's words, they were actually killed by him. Back then, Qin Wentian was only at the 5th level of Immortal Foundation, but he actually managed to kill Huang Dangtian and several other powerful experts. That was under the rules of the Sacred Academy. How dare you kill Dangtian? Huang Wudi's killing intent surged. Under the rules of the Sacred Academy, wasn't there a white tiger that was roasted alive back then? Qin Wentian's words caused everyone to understand. Huang Shatian coldly laughed, staring at Qin Wentian like he was looking at a corpse. He lifted his hand and waved it downwards. Chapter 1207. As Huang Shaishan's palm slammed down, the wind and clouds moved. Whistling immortal energy instantly engulfed the area. The experts from both sides widened the distance between each other, instantly occupying an extremely vast space. At their level, the area of their attacks was extremely vast. For a group battle like this, they naturally had to widen the area of their attacks. The experts from afar kept on retreating, the battle line lengthened. The terrifying storm of immortal might was like a raging storm, capable of overturning this entire space. Huang Shatian stood high up in the air, exuding an unexcelled aura. Huang Wudi and the others stepped out, rushing over. Could it be that these people dare to go against the rules of the Sacred Academy? Upon seeing the heaven-shaking battle, the hearts of many trembled. Not long ago, when the might of the Sacred Academy descended, these people directly started a battle. Were they trying to ignore the rules? Especially after the words spoken by Huang Shatian earlier. He wanted to kill Qing'er and Qin Wentian. He even wanted Qing'er to kneel and repent before her death. He was Huang Shatian, he naturally would do what he said. Since he said it, he naturally dared to do it. At this moment, Huang Shatian didn't move. Qin Wentian didn't move as well. Staring at the silhouette of Qin Wentian, Huang Shaishan's eyes flashed with incomparable arrogance. You think that your opponent is me. But in my eyes, you don't exist at all. No matter how talented you are still someone who is about to die. As the sound of his voice faded, his gaze pierced through Qin Wentian, landing in the direction of Qing'er. Beside Qing'er, Mo Zian, Qi and several other experts were guarding her. Huang Shatian had said that he wanted to kill Qing'er, so he would definitely do so. Although Qing'er's strength had increased greatly after her transformation, and she even possessed a trace of the might of an immortal king, how could she be compared to an existence like Huang Shatian? Huang Shatian was already one of the characters that stood at the peak of the Sacred Academy, a peak-level Immortal Foundation expert. The immortal king might he controlled wasn't something that Qing'er, who was at the 5th level of Immortal Foundation, could compare to. They were simply on 2 different levels. If Huang Shatian wanted to kill Qing'er, it would be as easy as flipping his palm. If I want to kill her, do you think you can stop me? Boundless law energy circulated around Huang Shatian. Spatial law energy cascaded down unceasingly from him, illuminating this entire space. With a step forward, he transformed into a spatial shadow, wanting to pass through Qin Wentian and move towards Qing'er. His entire person seemed to have transformed into law energy, enveloping Huang Shatian within. Boundless divine light circulated around Qin Wentian. His true godlike body appeared as law energy cascaded down unceasingly. He lifted his palm and blasted out a palm imprint. Countless ancient characters whistled through the air together with the palm imprint, destroying this entire space. This terrifying palm imprint blotted out the sun, wanting to destroy Huang Shatian, directly enveloping Huang Shaishan's body. Huang Shaishan's body glowed with a resplendent light as he transformed into a human emperor. When the palm imprint blasted down, it actually sank into the terrifying spatial law energy and was devoured bit by bit. That tyrannical spatial law energy tore it apart. Qin Wentian's terrifying attack actually didn't even have the qualifications to come into contact with Huang Shaishan's body. In that case, what qualifications did Qin Wentian have to be Huang Shaishan's opponent? When everyone saw this scene, they understood that since Huang Shatian has returned, no matter how dazzling Qin Wentian was before, he was destined to become a foil for Huang Shatian. For a peak-stage Immortal Foundation character who has already come into contact with the gate leading to the Immortal King realm, they have already surpassed the 9 levels of Immortal Foundation in the ordinary sense. They only needed 1 foot to step into the Immortal King realm. Cultivators in the world were very clear that although the difference between a great level was just a single step, it was already a qualitative change. Immortal Kings already stood on another level. It was extremely easy for them to destroy Immortal Foundation characters. There had never been an Immortal Foundation character who could fight against an Immortal King without the aid of supreme treasures. Hence, although Huang Shatian has yet to enter the Immortal King realm, he was already standing at the true peak of Immortal Foundation. How could Qin Wentian compare to him? With Huang Shaishan's return, no one in the Namhuang clan alliance would be able to obstruct him. Rumble. A terrifying spatial barrier enveloped Qin Wentian, causing him to sink into a terrifying space. After that, Emperor Light radiated from Huang Shatian, gushing towards him. Qin Wentian's expression froze. Countless ancient characters floated around him, resisting the Emperor Light. However, at this moment, Huang Shatian directly ignored him and walked past him, leaving behind only a series of afterimages. I will kill you when I return. Huang Shatian coldly spoke. His tone was so calm, as though this was an insignificant matter. Since the daughter of the Evergreen Immortal sect dared to kill Yudi, he would capture her first. After that, he would look for Qin Wentian. Both of them would have to pay the most painful price. As for the anger of the Sacred Academy, he heard that voice earlier. Those who violated the rules of the Sacred Academy would be expelled. Expelled? Expelled from the Sacred Academy? He, Huang Shatian, had already obtained what he wanted in the Sacred Academy. He believed that even if he left the Sacred Academy, he would still be able to ascend to the Immortal King realm. He was incomparably confident that even if he was expelled from the Sacred Academy today, he would still be the dazzling Huang Shatian who exuded magnificence through the generations. Qin Wentian could sense the power within Huang Shaishan's attack. He clearly understood that given his current 6th level Immortal Foundation, even if he cultivated his innate techniques to the extreme, even if he grasped an ultimate art, it was still impossible for him to jump so many levels and fight against Huang Shatian who had a trace of Immortal King might. When he saw Huang Shatian walking towards the direction of Qin'er, he closed his eyes. An instant later, huge waves rose up in his body. In just an instant, his entire body was as red as blood as a supreme demonic might gushed forth, shooting up into the sky. He released his Immortal Foundation. That terrifying blood-colored light frenziedly gushed into his Immortal Foundation, permeating every part of his body. This sudden change caused the expressions of everyone to change as they stared in shock at Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian actually radiated a terrifying aura that caused the hearts of everyone to tremble. A blood-colored light cascaded down from his body as his eyes turned incomparably demonic. When he inclined his head and stared at the sky, a dazzling astral soul appeared above his Immortal Foundation. A beam of demonic blood-colored light shot up into the sky, as though it wanted to sense the 9 heavenly layers of the 9 heavenly layers. Beams of astral light descended from the sky as thunderous rumbling sounds shook the heavens and earth. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The violent aura instantly transformed into a shocking demonic wind that engulfed the entire central region of the Sacred Academy. This entire space started to rumble, and within the tempest, numerous supremely powerful greater demons appeared. When these greater demons opened their eyes, a startling demonic glow could be seen within. Many people in combat halted, staring at Qin Wentian. The experts from the Namhuang Clan Alliance all had looks of joy on their faces, while the experts from the White Tiger People Alliance all had unsightly expressions on their faces. The cultivation bases of these greater demons were all extremely terrifying. This was truly a terrifying army of demonic beasts. Just when Huang Shatian was preparing to kill Qing'er, his attacks had already arrived. Several experts from the White Tiger People's Alliance blocked Qing'er's path, but at this moment, Huang Shatian turned his head and glanced at Qin Wentian. His gaze similarly changed. "You said that your opponent has never been me. You think that I have no qualifications? You want to kill my woman and no one can obstruct you? In that case, let me tell you this as well. I have never treated you, Huang Shatian, as an opponent. You are merely someone whom I will surpass sooner or later, or even kill. Using the word opponent to describe you is simply overestimating you. Today, I want to kill Huang Wudi. Who can obstruct me?" Qin Wentian's eyes gleamed with an incomparably demonic light, causing the hearts of everyone to tremble. Was Qin Wentian really not a match for Huang Shatian? Qin Wentian didn't even have the qualifications to contend against Huang Shatian. In that case, why did he dare to lead so many experts here? Why did he dare to start a war in the Sacred Academy? Everyone thought that Huang Shatian was invincible and Qin Wentian would die for sure. But when they heard Qin Wentian's words, they could clearly feel his arrogance. Everyone thought that he didn't have the qualifications to become Huang Shaishan's enemy. But in his heart, when had he ever treated Huang Shatian as an opponent? Huang Shatian was merely someone he had to kill. That was all. If Qin Wentian said this before, everyone would only feel that he was seeking his own humiliation and didn't know the immensity of the heavens and earth. But at this moment, everyone had expressions of contemplation on their faces. Was he really arrogant and ignorant? He was only at the 6th level of Immortal Foundation and already had the qualifications to do so. If he wasn't qualified, who would be? If he broke through to the 9th level, who else in the Sacred Academy would be his opponent? Huang Shatian. If Qin Wentian really broke through to the 9th level, most probably, Huang Shatian wouldn't be his opponent. Right now in the Immortal Foundation realm, Qin Wentian still had 3 more levels to improve himself. But to Huang Shatian, he was already nearing his limit. Roar! Terrifying greater demons roared, their voices shaking the heavens and earth. Several greater demons rushed in the direction of Huang Shatian. At the same time, some of the greater demons that were summoned here also rushed towards the other experts. As for Qin Wentian himself, he was like a terrifying demon god, moving towards Huang Wudi. Some people would eventually have to pay the price for their actions. Huang Shatian said that if he wanted to kill Qing'er, no one would be able to obstruct him. In that case, if he wanted to kill Huang Wudi, he wanted to see who would be able to obstruct him. Huang Wudi was a powerful existence at the 9th level of Immortal Foundation. If it wasn't for Huang Shatian, he might be incomparably dazzling. But right now, he had become the target that Qin Wentian wanted to kill. Also, when everyone saw Qin Wentian rushing towards Huang Wudi, a thought appeared in their minds. There was a very high possibility that Huang Wudi would really be killed by Qin Wentian. Staring at Qin Wentian rushing towards him, Huang Wudi unleashed the might of his Immortal Foundation to the extreme. His human emperor light gushed forth frenziedly as he brandished his sharp sword, aiming for Qin Wentian's body. However, at this moment, Qin Wentian's body was enveloped by a supreme demonic might. Around him, a fearsome screen of light coalesced into an incomparably gigantic demon silhouette. When Huang Wudi's attack landed on Qin Wentian's body, it actually had no effect at all. Someone as powerful as Huang Wudi couldn't even break through Qin Wenqian's defense. How could he continue to fight?